Don't be nasty.
So don't be nasty.
It's fun to be nasty.
It's fun to be nasty.
Where's the fun? Where's the fun? All right. All right. I think we're ready. Spider, you ready?
I'm born that way.
Okay. All right.
Let's do it.
Are you ready? Are you ready, Rell?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready, Jazz?
Let's go.
I done spilled orange soda on the table.
Smells good though.
All across the table.
The smell of orange soda is just.
That is the benefit. You know, I spilled orange soda. I spilled orange soda on the Monopoly money when I was coming up, and I got made fun of that forever. Every time we played Monopoly and had a bill and it was orange soda stained.
The fact that they let you play after you spill.
Disrespectful.
Like, I'm sorry.
Keep all sodas away from you.
You were not allowed to play Monopoly at my house. You spill something. Money.
Yeah, I did. But despite all that, it's another episode of the Cultured Misfits podcast. It's a special edition. To the left of me, the usual suspect is...
Oh, it's me this time?
Okay, to the right of me.
There you go.
Right there.
It's Rell.
And to the left, the far left of me.
Jazzy, how you doing?
All right. And to the left, the right of her and the left of me.
Oh my God.
It's Spider, the one and only.
There are special guests. Man, this is a first in a while. Well, in this studio. Four
Yeah.
people. I'm feeling confident because I have a cisgendered male next to me.
Oh, Lord.
'Cause
You're not
usually
outnumbered?
I'm not outnumbered,
Okay.
you know. So yeah, how about that?
Something real.
Congratulations. You want a cookie?
I do.
All right.
I have some afterwards.
Go
Can
get
I have
you
one
some.
next Saturday?
Huh?
Can I have one next Saturday? It's my cheat day.
No, we're not here next Saturday. Do better.
We're never here on a Saturday, bro.
And I was saying a cookie on Saturday. I'm hungry.
I mean, yo, any day can be a cheat day, bro.
Not
Any
any
day
day can be a cheat day.
When we're adults, any day can be a cheat day.
Okay.
You can have a cheat hour. You can say, so I have to cheat 8 hours, right? You can spread that out throughout the week.
Like, F it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's why my
An
baller
hour a
belly
day?
is back. So, because I have that attitude. So don't do what Brandon does. It's nice to be here on this rainy Sunday. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Spider.
No problem.
He's injured. What happened?
Had a playoff game today at the Hack. Went for a block. Missed the block. Got a whole body landed on my leg. But, you know, it happens. Basketball play. I'm mad at it.
I know. I think I'm about to retire playing. I think I'm done.
Are you?
I think I'm done. My body, nah.
I'm saying no.
It's just like, it's giving, nigga, give it up.
I'm going to play in a wheelchair.
It's giving. You keep getting hurt. You
gonna
can't
play
go
in
to
a
work.
wheelchair?
I'ma
He
play
loves
till I
basketball
can't
that
play no
much?
more. I love the game.
Hmm.
Not giving it up.
That's
Okay.
where I was at. But I started playing last week, and the way I felt after, like,
So was that, how long have you played? Like, how long between last week and then?
it was the fall. Like, I played in the fall, right? But I've been working out. So I've been on the treadmill. I've been on the bike. I've been lifting. I've been squatting. And I realized that basketball is different,
Yes,
right? It's always different, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the way my body felt for the week after playing, and I didn't even play hard. It's like, do I want to be sore like this? Like,
Basketball shape a different in shape.
Man, how old are you?
35 in a few months.
Talk to me in about 12 years and see how you feel. Where you going?
I'm telling you, till I can't move. I'm playing ball.
This man, like 5 years ago when I was playing in leagues, there was guys, they were like in their 60s and they were playing, right?
Yeah.
They were balling and then they just stopped. Like nothing happened. There was no injuries. There was no rough play.
It's
It's
just
just like,
tough on their body.
yeah, they just like one day they're just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm good. Like I'm starting to feel that way. I'm supposed to either play tomorrow or Tuesday. So I'm gonna see how I feel.
Yeah,
And get it out, you know?
I think reality for me, I'll stop once my little man is like, he's completely dedicated. Like, this is the sport I want to play. Whether it's basketball, soccer, like when he's like, this
Into
is it, Dad,
something.
then it's like, all right, ball for me gonna have to stop.
Why?
Because then I'm gonna have to focus on him. Because I'm coaching his little league team right now for soccer, and he loves it. So I mean, from my experiences, what I was able to go through, having my father help me with sports, he took that time out from him playing to help me learn the game, put in that hard work, get me up, practice with me. So it was like he was giving back to me to be able to put me to my level.
Okay.
So I know for me, I can't be selfish enough to go, all right, Chase, you go here, I'm gonna go here and play my game, and then we'll go back. Can't do that. I'd rather take that sacrifice and teach him what I know, whether if it's soccer, basketball, whatever sport he wants to do, I'll give that back to him. I play my game.
Does he watch you play now?
Oh yeah, he loves it.
All right.
Like if I lose, he yells at me. Because you're not used to me losing. Like, literally, he will, Dad, y'all better not lose. Because you got to hear my mouth all day, and I don't feel like hearing his mouth.
All right. Okay.
That is your only motivation.
Sure.
To not
It
hear his
is.
mouth. It
It
is.
is not hearing his mouth is my motivation to keep playing.
All right. Well, what my wish for you is that you are somehow able to find a balance to which you can do and dedicate all that energy and focus on your son and still find a little time to keep your thing going. That's what my hope and wish is for you, you
Thank
know,
you. Appreciate it.
because I know we're, being a parent is important,
Yeah.
but you also are you know what I'm saying? So you talking about, I'm going to play in a wheelchair and then, and then be like, well, then when it's time.
If I get injured one more time, I will be in a wheelchair.
Damn. All right. Well, we're here. I think we got a general outline, right?
Mhm.
We put it out in the air, right?
Right.
We didn't write shit down. We just
We
kinda
never do.
We never. One day we're gonna do that.
We started off that way, and then we're just like,
And I'm like, yeah, let's have an outline. And you're all like, no, the show's better when it.
Well, not that,
Whatever
but
you
it's a
say.
topic. Yeah, I said when we
Mhm.
have like a specific topic, like what are the effects of but when we just free flow. But I feel like with Spider here, we kind of have a direction. But before we get into that, I think we should, do that thing that we do.
Right. So who's a contestant today?
See here, Spider, that's good. She's getting it. See here, when you play stupid games, you win.
Supervisors.
Right,
Mhm.
right. And so this week, we have a Missouri racist fired from her job after vowing to teach her grandkids anti-Black racism. It's very interesting.
Anti-Black racism.
Yes, it's redundant, right? Anti-Black racism. You like, yeah, I
Two double negatives in a sentence.
Yeah.
Right. She did it 2 double negatives, and that doesn't work. So I have some audio and the video here.
I will teach my grandkids to hate you all.
Honestly, I don't understand the whole Confederate flag thing, and that's something that I've been learning for the last couple of days, the meaning of the Confederate flag. I always thought that it was about, uniting people together, not dividing people. I didn't understand that the Confederate flag meant hate. I just thought people didn't understand the history of the Confederate flag. Like, I don't understand the whole history of the Confederate flag, but I'm learning. And I would never, ever, ever hold up another Confederate flag in my life. Very sorry for everything that's been happening. That's not me, and that's not who I am, and I want people to understand that.
Yeah,
So she said that,
She
and then
said
she
it.
said she doesn't understand the history of the
Yeah,
flag.
so in the clip, for those of you listening, like she's apologizing in one video, but then there's the video of her at a rally or something holding a Confederate flag, right? Talking all that shit. And so she lost her job. And I'm just tired of these dumbass racist people. Like, what are you doing? What's going on?
She won her super prize
Unemployment.
for ignorance.
Would you hire her, bro, at your job?
No. For what? She's not stable in mind, and she's incapable of diversity and inclusion. And you're not able to help all people without bias. So
I think it's hilarious that she states that she didn't know what the Confederate flag meant.
So why carry it?
right.
She like, what is that? And I'm going to teach my grandkids to hate you. Beep, 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 beep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
That part.
that part.
It's like you get to the point where it's like you're numb to it at some point. Like, not numb to it, like you're ignoring it, but it's like another one or another person. Like, it's
Yeah, I'm actually unbothered by people like that because if you look at them, who are they? Like, they're not important. They don't hold power. They don't have any control over my life, my well-being. So you can hate who you want. That's on you.
But the thing is, people like that don't have power. But it's like, so people who are like outward and blatant with their racism, I'm not worried about. It's the people who are silent and undercover with it. Those are the more dangerous ones.
Very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have any racist friends, Jazzy?
No. Fuck.
not that you know.
Right.
None of my friends are.
Yeah.
You never know.
You have racist friends?
I probably do. They're not gonna tell me.
Oh no.
I would hope you know who your racist friends are.
No, because
They're
they're
not
the
gonna.
ones.
Yeah, they're not gonna
I
tell
don't
you.
believe I have any racist friends.
Because they're the ones that be like low key supporting Trump,
No.
right?
I might have racist family members, but not racist friends.
You may, or do you?
Probably. I don't know. I don't deal with them, so who knows?
Yeah.
But if they're all about Trump, then that just is enough. So
You know, they're upset because Tucker got fired. You know, all these things, all the things. So, racist people just don't do things on video. If somebody busts a camera out, just shut up, walk away.
Oh,
Just
show pride in what you believe
yeah,
in.
be
Don't
proud
take
of
no pride,
yourself.
yeah.
Be proud that you don't like others.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
it's cool.
well, this woman is without a job. All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and do shot o'clock? Let's we're gonna toast the spider's leg.
Get better, bro.
Jazz, your turn.
Nah, I'll have him spin.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, I'm not even gonna bother with the what do you want it to be? Because you know,
Yeah.
we already know. Do you drink, sir?
Does he?
Do I?
Okay.
He
Is
the
that-
one, he
day?
the one mixing all the
Do
drinks
I?
for everybody.
so is this going to interfere with your cheat day, this shot?
No.
Okay.
Too late.
All right. All right. Go ahead and it's tequila.
That's fine.
I'm glad I changed that shit.
Oh, we're gonna have to mix it up. We're gonna have to because that El Pagino is low.
You don't have to tell the people.
Yeah, I do.
You know he likes saying everything.
I like transparency, man. I like they're part of the experience. So you know, yeah. I mean, my Puerto Rico.
Wait, let me pour.
Well, you got two of them in here, man.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm glad this does not get in the way of your cheat day.
One shot won't kill me.
No.
It'll make your leg feel better.
It probably will.
Yeah, okay.
It'll make me forget that it hurts.
Did the person that fell on your leg apologize?
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't a malicious thing.
Okay.
I hope.
Did you continue to play?
Sat there for about a minute or so,
half or
got back up, kept going.
Nah, just pour use a casa.
If he'd have, to be honest, if he'd have went up to shoot the ball instead of getting scared and went to pass the ball, wouldn't have fell.
You want stateside?
Nah, just use the casa. Yeah. You know, it's tequila, so we're gonna stay with the tequila. And I guess we gotta go liquor shopping. I give you the deeper
Thank
one. J Figs with your racist family members.
Disrespectful.
I said probably.
Probably. No, but probably means yes.
No, it doesn't. It says probably. I don't care to find out.
That's what I was about to say. Don't tell me. Like, I don't have
So-
time for it.
All right, sir, to your leg, and thank you for stepping in here. Yeah. So. All right.
You still got to drink a chaser afterwards?
Yes.
She lightweight, man.
I taught you better than that.
What?
I did so.
She
You know I'll be
lightweight.
done.
Taught you better than that.
You know I'll be done.
Taught you better than that.
You've witnessed it plenty of times.
That's because I've made enough drinks plenty of times.
Lord, she. Really?
Yeah. Like any house party, house gathering through college.
Parties.
I was not only the DJ, but I was the mixer.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. All right. So, Rell got me triggered.
What'd I do?
You sent this clip of Mr. Harvey,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Steve Harvey. How do you feel about Steve Harvey, Spider?
Depends on what day he opens his mouth. Depends on the day he opens his mouth.
All right. J Fix, how do you feel about it?
I don't mind him.
Rell?
I don't mind him either.
Don't mind him at all?
He doesn't ruffle my feathers.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Not like you.
Oh, is it my feathers?
No, he ruffles your feathers.
It's not that he ruffles my. Yeah, he ruffles my feathers. He
He
just-
does ruffle your feathers.
No. All right. So there's this clip that Rell sent. Why did you send this to the group? What was it? What was
The
it?
topic.
So you really wanted us to discuss this, right? All right.
No, I just think it's interesting. It's what we usually talk about.
Okay. So it is from the Shannon Sharp. It's a Shannon Sharp interview, and he is talking. I'm just gonna play the clip.
What's wrong with this generation today? These young boys today, what does she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job.
So why did that ruffle your feathers?
All right. So first of all, let's get a baseline. Let's establish a baseline with Steve Harvey. Like, we're going to have to Google, right? We're going to have to Google. So first of all, how old is Steve Harvey?
I don't know. That man probably 60. I do not know that man.
And Jazzy, could you find out how many times he's been married?
I think he's been married like three times, right?
Okay.
Or
times
two.
a charm?
All right.
He's 66 years old.
He's 66 years old. Okay. Does it have his year, the year he was born?
1957.
1957. All right.
Three
in
times.
West Virginia.
3 times. Okay.
He's on his third marriage from 2007.
Okay. So 1957, 66 years old, successful comedian, successful talk show host, successful radio show host, successful game show, successful author, successful movie producer, successful production house owner. Very successful. Multi-millionaire. All right. So it's established. We know who Mr. Steve Harvey is, right? Why this ruffles my feathers so much is because not that just 405,000 people like that clip on Instagram, including one of my friends. And I'm just like, funky bitch. My problem with him in a nutshell is he is very, very toxic. That perspective, what is wrong with a man going to a woman and asking her what she brings to the table? Why has he reduced y'all to your only purpose is to being at home barefoot and pregnant? Because that's basically what he's saying. Right?
That's not what he said, though.
That's what did he say?
He said that the woman has the ability to make you.
Okay. So
they're just saying the power of the woman.
Okay. So Jazzy, you're a mother.
I am.
Were you able to accomplish that by yourself?
No, it takes two, obviously.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You can't
It's always going to take two. I mean, yeah, or they go to wherever. And
but
get
it
done.
still requires a cisgendered man and a cisgendered woman and the proper the materials to make the
child. Yeah, but y'all don't hold the child. Y'all don't go through nothing that we go through when it comes to when it's created.
That's true.
Right. So we
create the child.
No.
Yes.
You conceive.
We create the child. You carry and incubate the child. And I'm not trying to discount that. I'm not saying that at all. But it's still what he's saying is because that's what you do, that's him, that's your value to him. That's your value to him. People don't understand it. He's putting it out there like he's a chivalrous guy and like, oh, you guys carry a man, you make the baby, and that's all you need to worry about. But guess what? It takes two. Why do you not deserve to be with somebody that you're compatible with, who you're bringing compatible things to the table?
I feel like when he said it's the delivery, because I've spoken to men where they're like, no, you're just good for, like that's what they say. You're good for making a baby and that's it.
I don't think that's what he was saying.
That's not what he was saying. And that's not how
that's what he said.
That's not how we took it.
Yeah.
We don't take it that
way. You
way.
need to take it.
Well, no, that's your perception on how you took it. That's not how we took it.
But these young guys are saying, like, the question, what do you bring to the table is like, basically, is that pussy's not good enough.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
But he's saying it is.
But that's the problem.
Thank you.
It's not.
But the thing, I've never been asked, what do you bring to the table?
Yeah, good. Either.
It's a very good thing to never be asked that question.
But why are people asking people that?
Because they're not
and
sure
who's
about what
mostly
they want.
asking that?
So why are they pursuing that type of person?
Because they want to know exactly what they're getting out of the person they're with.
But clearly you're not getting that out of that person.
Move on.
Exactly. So why do you have to get to the point to ask that?
Well, Rell, first of all, you are a solid woman. Okay, you're a human being. Like, you come across like it's obvious what you bring to the table. But even whether it's obvious or not, it should not be a problem for someone who is interested in you, who is trying to get to know you, to try to understand what attributes are you bringing to the table in terms of as who you are as a human being, and how are we going to be compatible to share a life together? But
I feel there's a different way to ask that. You don't ask people what do they bring to the table, because that seems like you're not doing enough. You're not up to my standard. Prove it to me.
So you know how that question gets asked? Hi, Rell, how are you?
I'm good.
You're good? What do you do for a living?
Exactly. Well, yes.
But I'm asking you what you do for a living, right? So not only am I asking what you do for a living, what do you like to do? What are your interests? What are your hobbies? What do you do for fun? What do you do outside of your work?
Yes, that's
What do
how you
do at
ask.
home?
That's how you
But
figure it out.
That's the question. What you bring to the table.
That's
No,
how you
but
get to that.
The difference is
Mm-hmm.
you had to look at the time period we're in and the time period where some people were raised. Nowadays, due to social media, due to podcasts, due to, those individuals, the question gets asked, what do you bring to the table? Versus what a normal person would do is just get to know
the person.
Just ask the question, like get to know you.
Mhm.
But what some people do nowadays is they cut straight to the point. After day 1, day 2, we've been involved for about a month or so. They're going to ask you straight up, what are your values? What are you bringing to me? Because now at this point, if you're not bringing the same values that I'm bringing you, why are we doing this?
Mhm.
I'm not going to waste your time. You shouldn't waste my time. Let's bounce. Because if we're not here on the same level, if you're not here to bring me what I need, and I'm not here to bring you what you need, why am I
That's
here?
the point.
So then that's where it goes to sex isn't enough. If your value is, well, I had sex with him here, we do this, we do that, that's cool. But at the end of it, if I'm the man and I want certain things out of you, and it's not just a sexual thing, you're wasting my time.
Right.
So then your feelings get hurt because I know you're wasting my time, and I'm going to go elsewhere, and I'm going to do everything else. I'm getting the sex from you. I'll stay here. The sex is here. You done gave it to me. I got it. What do I need to go somewhere for? You've provided that for me already.
Mhm.
But because you're not providing any other value to me, I'm going to go find that value. And then when I find the value, you now disappear. But see, now your feelings are hurt because I never asked you the question, what do you bring to the table? So because I didn't ask that question, now you're upset.
Or look
because
into
you
it.
can't, right. Because now you're upset because you never got the chance to tell me what your value was. You just assumed,
That
I
he
opened my
knew.
legs for him. I gave him this. That should have been enough, right?
Mhm.
No.
Nah.
A baby. Because in Steve Harvey's mind, you bring life to here, and that's
again,
all
there's-
you need to do.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with women being able to birth a
Right,
child.
but that's not the only
thing
reason.
that
Right.
they can
But
do.
what he said literally, as a man, this is how I'm seeing him say that.
Mhm.
hmm
I shouldn't ask a woman what she brings to the table because she can birth a baby. Okay, that's cool.
Mhm.
Do you know how many women can't birth a baby?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know where the statistic lies where women have issues that they can't give birth?
Right.
Mhm.
So now you've literally, all of those women
Are out.
Have no value
have
to
no
you.
value now
Mhm.
to what
Mhm.
Steve Harvey is saying in that particular clip. Now, could he have meant it a different way? Possibly.
hmm
But when you
Get outta
now
here.
say a woman's value is to give birth, what the women that can't give birth, they now literally have zero value with that statement. And that's horrible.
Mhm. Agreed. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I just didn't take. I didn't
You
take
should
it
take,
that way.
but you
gotta
fucking
look-
take it that way.
I'm not taking it that way because he didn't say you're only here to birth kids. He said you're just capable of
didn't have- he
creating
didn't have
kids.
to.
He didn't have to.
He didn't say they could do other. So,
He probably did. That was just a clip.
but
No.
So within that
No, he
clip,
didn't.
Within that clip, though,
He said other stuff.
he did. But within that whole entire clip, what he said was, men shouldn't ask women what their value is because they can make another you. And he left it at that.
For that one.
The
Yeah.
problem with leaving it at that is, what if you can't make another you? What if you don't want to make another you? There are men that don't want kids. There are women
Yeah.
that don't want kids.
Yeah.
So now where's the value that these two people that either are incapable of having kids or don't want kids, what is the value to one another? You got to look at everything from both sides of the coin. What he said, look at it from an objective standpoint and how it affects everyone else, not just someone in your situation.
hmm
You should.
Yeah, just never.
You should want a man to ask you what you bring to the table.
Definitely, I'm not dealing with a man who asks me that.
Well,
question.
hold on. But you're the one that wants you want like where is this going? I want a
that
relationship.
is, but I
want
don't
to get
have
married.
to ask. What do you bring to the table? I'm getting to know you. I'm looking and seeing what you're doing. I'm looking by
Let's
action.
admit. Let's the energy of what do you bring to the table, which is the getting to know you.
Mhm.
When somebody says, what do you bring to the table? As Spider said, they are cutting to the chase.
Mhm.
They are giving you the opportunity to if you were to lay it out, what you bring to the table. Now, sir, what do you bring to the table? Now you guys can make a decision whether or not you are compatible enough to make this move forward. That is me. If I were to ask you that is me acknowledging that I think enough of you that I want to try to move forward, and I want to see if this is going to work, and and making sure that we don't waste time.
I'm surprised that you agree with that because we always talk about how today's generation or whatever is so transactional. To me, I feel that question is so transactional.
It is.
It's not getting to know you. Like, let's experience each other and get to know each other that way. That's what a relationship is about. That's what companionship is about.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
I understand getting to the chase so we don't waste time short and all that kind of 24 hours in the day.
See,
Sleep
I'm
5 hours and be up and you don't have the 21 hours. But that is so robotic and not.
It is robotic.
So lifeless.
But just dealing with that clip, what he's saying and that energy and what he's bringing to the table, what I feel and see and why it got me in my feelings is because he really devalued women in that space. In that space, he devalued women. That's your only value to him. Your only value. There's another clip where he says, where he's talking about his daughter, right? His daughters did not want him to marry Marjorie. And
that's his current wife?
His current wife, right?
Okay.
And he's like, how are you going to tell me what to do when you don't make money, you ain't paid for nothing, you haven't had a successful relationship, blah, 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 right? Now, on his face, it's like, yeah, how you going to tell me what to do when you ain't done shit, right? But what I heard was, I will only respect your opinion and your value if you have money and you've had success and you haven't fallen on your face. Meanwhile, this man has made part of his empire is based on the fact that he's fallen on his face and is writing books about the successful relationship. Never mind the fact that maybe your daughters just didn't want you to marry her because they just didn't trust her and they're loving you and they're looking out for you. This is not coming from a place of control. It is like, hey, I think this is a dangerous situation. I love you, Dad. I'm trying to protect you. But in his mind, money is everything. And so he's not going to respect you unless you have money and you have power and control. I don't like that.
Okay.
It's not companionship at all.
It's a situation.
And then even with it being your children, still a companionship with that. Like, I look at it as how my parents would tell me something. You have your life, you can live it, but I'm gonna give you a suggestion. Now I'm giving you a suggestion. You can accept it or not. But the way you not accept it is by still doing what you want. To be rude about accepting it is by saying, well, because you're not doing this, because you don't do what I do, I don't have to listen to you. That's stupid. Because maybe they're seeing something that you don't see. Even with your kids, I understand that they're your kids because they're younger than you. They're quote unquote beneath you. They haven't lived their lives as much as you've lived it. So to hear them go, man, you shouldn't do that. For you to devalue that altogether, whether it's your daughters, whether it's your sons, to devalue that because you don't make enough here. It's not like they're saying, you're telling them to go wash the dishes. And they're like, nah, Pop, I'm not washing the dishes. This is affecting not only you, but everyone. If you marry this man, if you marry this woman, if you bring this person around us, this is how we think it might affect everybody. And for you to tell somebody because you don't make as much money as me, or because you don't do the things that I do, I don't have to listen to you. You can feel that way. Because I'm pretty sure our parents have felt that way when we've told them something about it.
So do you don't think that maybe he was just rambling? Because every parent rambles.
No, not Steve Harvey. He doesn't ramble.
Yeah, I think that was a power move for sure.
And the bad part about it is most men that make a certain amount of money feel as though they can say what they want. You should be able to say what you want, no matter how much money you make.
Correct. Yeah.
But when you make
not to the detriment of others.
When you make that's what I was saying earlier. I'm in a certain tax bracket. I know where my limits go for what I can say and what I won't say. Even if I get to that tax bracket, I'm still going to know my limits of what I should say and what I shouldn't say, for the mere fact that I don't want to devalue the people I'm supposed to have in my life. If I'm supposed to have you in my life, I don't want to make it look like the only reason why I'm in this position of power because I hold all the cards. That's dumb. Now what happens when I don't hold all the cards? Life happens. Shit comes at you fast. So if you lose all that, now what you going to say? Let's say he lose all his millions, for just using him as an example. Lose all his millions. For whatever happened, he says the wrong thing. We know in this day and world, everybody says the wrong thing. At some point, you didn't know somebody was recording you. You didn't know you was being watched. You said the wrong thing. Now you've lost everything. Now with you losing everything, it's just your daughters that are supposed to now pick up the pieces. So when you make a suggestion to them, they're going to go, nah, Pop, you don't make as much money. Now what you going to say? Well, I've lived here longer and I know what's going on. Now you don't make as much money, so I don't care what you think. That's the mindset that he's setting. It's not a good one.
I agree.
Yeah. It's problematic. His energy is problematic because like we have our advice is like a tool, like different tools. The perfect tool for the perfect situation. Depends on the outcome, right? In terms of him speaking to the young boys, which I'm like, dude, if you're trying to help people, because I believe he has great intentions, like he wants to see the best for everybody. You have great intentions. The last thing you want to do is disrespect someone before you lay on some advice that they should follow. These young boys, that's condescending. That's rude as fuck. Like if I'm I'm not going to listen to you now. I'm shut down. I'm shut down, right? But the reason why I'm talking about, I asked about his age and the year that he was born. he's had a different life experience with dating, marriage. He's been married for a very long time. Mm-hmm. So even for him to talk about what the dating world is like and what people should be doing in the dating world when your ass has not been involved in the dating world in however many years, and even if he was to go back out in the dating world, the women he would date, what that generation and what they're into,
he'd be asking, what do you bring to the table?
He would, but his advice would work for them, but it would not work for the quote unquote young boys. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It would not work for us. It just wouldn't work. But he's sitting there and he's applying his experience and his knowledge to everyone. We should all be doing these things because Steve Harvey does it. And it's like, yo, man, shut up. Mm. Normally I would say, Steve, it's not good advice, but because he's so toxic with how he delivers his message, and I was going to call him Kevin Samuels, but I decided that's not fair. Kevin Samuels is Steve Harvey 2.0, not the other way around. The only reason why we accept Steve Harvey's his advice, the way he delivers it, and the toxicness, the reason why it's accepted. God damn, what happened? The reason why we accept it is because before we got to Guru Steve, we had comedian Steve, we had sitcom Steve. We fell in love with this guy who was non-threatening and he's safe and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So he kind of slid on in. Whereas Kevin Samuels, we were introduced to him as this
relationship
guy,
yeah,
right?
But, image consultant,
right? But I'm pretty sure that if Steve,
his title
is it?
Yes, image consultant.
Yes, he'd be like, are you going to tell me how to do my job? I'm an image consultant.
I believe it because he always asks those types of questions. What do you look like? How old are you?
Yes.
How long you been married? You never been married and you got 3 kids and then you wonder why you single. Like, he'd be going in. Like, whoa.
R.I.P.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. That R.I.P. was very
condescending.
Yeah, it was very condescending.
He was like, rest in peace, but I'm glad you're not here. That's what it sounded like.
It was giving, yeah, nigga. Yeah, that was no. But do you think we would be reading Steve Harvey? Well, people would be reading Steve Harvey books if he came out from the gate, not being a comedian, not being an actor, not being on the radio, and being fun, whatever, and he was just delivering this stuff.
Probably, yeah, because they did with Kevin Samuels.
But people love Steve. Like, he blew up because of the nostalgia and his reputation.
That's the point he's making. If Steve would have just been Steve, Guru Steve, it would have been another
Kevin Samuels. Yeah.
So people would have had the same reaction to Steve as they did Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
But I don't think Steve's delivery is as harsh as Kevin Samuels.
It's worse.
But
to me, it's worse.
Because it's not so direct?
No, it's
sugar-coated?
No, like, it's not sugar-coated. No, what I saw from Kevin Samuels, it always seemed like he would try to be nice. He'd be like, Jazzy, I think that it's not smart for you to talk about Lizzo because of your size, right? Mm-hmm. And he'd be like, but. He'd be like, Jazzy, I'm telling you that you probably should not say these things. You'd be like, but. And he'd be like, bitch. You know what I mean? It would always, he would never, as far as what I saw, he would never just come out like the gate ignorant.
And that was the thing. Like, I had this conversation with my fiance earlier. Get in trouble later. But the mere fact that what takes out of context with some of Kevin Samuels' clips was the clips. Mm-hmm. What's going to get the views? So the views were him snapping. It either get you a positive result or a negative result. Him snapping at the woman. The bad part about it is they don't show you the clips. Him snapping at men for calling his show with not working, not doing this, but they want a certain type of woman in their life. So he snapped at everyone. And me and my boys were talking about this in our chat one day. He snapped at everybody. Yeah, his delivery was kind of, harsh.
It was entertaining.
It was and the bad part about it is he knew that. He knew his delivery would get him certain views talked about to get people to come to his show. It's how he made his money.
Yeah, he cashed in on it.
The thing about it was he really didn't start out that way. And the bad part is until you actually go watch one of his whole things, one of his whole hour shows, he starts off trying to have a conversation with you, trying to understand where you're coming from. And then when she starts to give the advice, when you don't listen to the advice he gives you, then it goes from notch 1.
He escalates.
Notch 7, notch 100. Like there's no gradual. It just goes. So that was the thing with him. So that's where he's coming from with Steve Harvey. If Steve Harvey just started off that way, yeah, I don't think nobody would listen to him. But because we know who Steve Harvey is, he's one of the original kings of comedy. You have our attention. We've known you from that. we're going to listen.
Mm-hmm.
The bad part about it is now that everybody's listening, you've got to be more cautious with what you're saying.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, you see, do you agree?
Yeah.
It's just hard. And I think it's a byproduct of him being a comedian, right?
That too.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're a comedian, the delivery, if you deliver a joke hard, it hits.
Mm-hmm.
So he delivers his advice hard, extra hard. And so for me, I'm sensitive. So when I'm hearing it, like him beating on the table and calling, the young boys and this, that, and the other, to me, it's like, yo, you a whole asshole right now, because how do you think this is really coming off in people's ears? Like, not only are you putting toxic information out there, but you're doing it in a very disrespectful way, and people are lapping it up. And then we wonder why shit's all fucked up with dating and expectations and everything like that. So, so thank you for sending that clip. You got me really riled up and upset and in my feelings about Mr.
That's
Harvey.
what I do.
And thank you, Spider, for
I told you I'm an honest dude.
And Jazz, you still like, I didn't hear that.
That's not, I didn't hear it. It's just I didn't take it that way.
Okay, well,
It's fair.
Words matter, how you say it is going to determine how
I want to
it's
let you
delivered.
know that you have way more value to me than the fact that you can make babies. That you can incubate babies.
Mayday baby.
I mean, things can happen. So
Oh, not things can happen.
Not things can happen. Mm-mm.
I mean, yo, Friday night.
Nope.
Friday night. Do you know what's happening Friday night for us?
No.
Well, so by the time this airs, this will have already happened. But we are going to the Swingers Club.
Y'all have fun with that. You know what I'll be doing Friday night?
What's that?
Probably playing Uno.
Playing Uno.
That's what I'll be doing Friday night.
Nah, that's nice. Uno's fun. All right, Jay. I guess you're up, Jay. What's up?
Alrighty, I have some dating advice stories. Are we ready?
No, but go ahead.
All right, it is what it is. Topic: I'm dating likes to comment. The guy I'm dating likes to comment on how I spend my money. Is this a red flag? I, 26 female, have been dating a guy, 29 male, for about a month. We get along on many levels, but he seems highly critical of how I spend my money. For some background information, we live in New York City. I grew up here and he moved here from San Francisco. We both make six figures. I live with my parents to save money in order to buy my own property, while he lives in a tiny studio in an upscale neighborhood. I save and /invest as much as I can and have no debt at all. From the beginning, he told me he doesn't like spending money on expensive things and food because he wants to save money to buy property here one day. Our dates have never cost over $40 for the both of us, which I don't care about at all because we always have a good time. However, I notice he makes a lot of comments and inquiries about what I spend my disposable income on. For example, he asked me how many handbags do I have and how much do they cost? I told him I have 4, 3 ranging from $150 to $200 each, and a backpack. And I don't think that's a lot, to which he replied, he thinks that's a lot. I also have mild rosacea on my face and get laser treatments 3 times a year. I was open with him about it. He asked how much are the treatments. I told him it's $300 per session and would rather not spend money on it, but it helps my skin a lot. He implied that I was wasting money on it. He would ask how much my jewelry cost. I told him most are gifts and from my mom and grandma, and I only bought myself the earrings I was wearing that day. To which he wanted to know how much my earrings were. In the beginning, I thought they were just normal conversation topics. No. But now I'm not sure if this will spiral into something bigger if we continue seeing each other or getting more serious. Our lives are not intertwined yet, and we are not official yet. And he is already making comments on how I spend my money. We both have similar financial goals and live below our means, but like to spend our disposable income on different things. Is this a red flag or am I overthinking?
It's not about it being a red flag. Just run. Y'all aren't compatible from the jump. So, all right. Men and women are going to look at money completely different.
Yeah.
So when a man tells you up front that he is not into materialistic things, if you are a frivolous spender, run. It's just not going to work because he don't care what you buy. He don't care what you spend it in on. He don't care about the bag you bought, the shoes you bought, the earrings. He don't care.
It's not your money.
But see,
why do you care? It's not your money. You should spend it.
Let me tell you why he cares.
Why?
Because he thinks it's going to be their money soon. No?
I'm supposed to be the man in a relationship, right?
Okay.
Steve Harvey energy.
So, not even that. If I'm supposed to be the provider, it's just a guy in general. If I'm supposed to be the head of the household, if I'm supposed to do that thing, you're my partner at the end of the day. So, as my partner, We got to make sure the money is going to the correct things, the household, the family, the income. He already said he's trying to invest it in properties, which means he's thinking about making money for everybody, right? He's telling you all this from the jump. So his mindset is, if we're together and we're trying to invest money, you said that you're trying to invest money in the properties and doing that, but then you go buy another bag, another pair of shoes. To a man that materialism isn't his goal, he's thinking that $300 can go somewhere else. He's thinking that $400 can go into a savings account.
Yeah, so put your $400 away.
Okay, but then this is supposed to be our stuff, right?
Yes and no.
Oh,
Yes and no.
this is our relationship, right?
Yeah, but are you going to have joint accounts? You're going to put everything together?
If it's our relationship and we're doing this together,
You
that's
can
the
have you can
mindset.
have your separate stuff and then a combination.
Well, here's the thing.
But they're not even
They're not even dating official, so
But
it doesn't even matter.
That's why I'm saying run. Because he's telling you from the jump. Imagine if they were married.
Oh yeah, nah, she needs a run. That's
But my
a
thing
given.
is, she's asking that question, but you're not looking at the long term of it.
yeah.
If he wants to get married, if the goal of dating is to get married, the goal is dating for us to be exclusive. If I'm telling you up front, I'm not a materialistic person, that I'm trying to invest, I'm trying to do this. When I hear someone that just goes and spend money, even if it's, oh man, I went to McDonald's and bought this, why don't you just go buy groceries? That's the mindset of a person who materialism it means nothing to them.
I understand that. I agree with you, but I hate that men will pick up women. Like, men know when you have your lashes done. Men know when you put on makeup.
Mhm.
Men know when you have a nice bag. Men know when you have nice shoes, when you're wearing nice clothes. So, and when you do your hair, right?
Maybe.
So men know what a messy bun is. Men know what a blowout is. They do.
No, I'm going to argue because there's plenty of times women like, you didn't even notice that I such and such and such. Right. I mean, seriously.
If you're frugal like that, you will know. What?
What's the word you just used?
Frugal.
There you go. For a man that don't spend money like that, he don't care.
No,
He's
but
not.
what I'm saying is, like, you knew what she did these things. So you know that they come at a price.
We don't necessarily know the price. Men don't typically know how much it costs you to get your nails done versus like a regular manicure versus a gel set versus a blah blah.
But look how much you
design.
know.
Yeah, because I'm different.
Get out of here.
No, but I'm different.
But
No,
at least you know. But my thing is, don't see me get my nails done, get my hair done, and then not think that. Like, what do you want me to stop?
But he's not complaining about that. He's complaining about the bags, the jewelry. Well, he's not complaining. He's asking, right? Your personal care, spend it.
No, he didn't want her to get laser treatment for her rosacea.
Yeah.
He told her to stop.
Laser treatment? What?
Yes, laser treatment for the skin.
Yeah. It helps the skin cells renew.
You know what helps your skin cells renew?
What?
A healthy diet.
No.
You laugh.
It's not just
know,
that
but it's-
though. It's
yeah.
A healthier
You
diet.
sound frugal.
he's a
too.
frugal one.
You're right.
No, you're frugal. You're frugal. It's okay.
Amazon my best friend. What you talking about?
I think that you can be financially responsible and treat yourself.
You can, to an extent.
What do you mean to an extent?
She has three three or four handbags?
Again, he's so
But
one.
he's acting like she's like splurging.
Again, there could be more to that. That could have just been one conversation. But my thing is, the man told you up front. He's not materialistic.
Right, girl, bye. Just leave him.
Yeah,
That's it.
Because I would have been lit.
Yeah, you're not gonna tell me what to do with my money. You checking my pockets? We ain't even official. Fuck out my
I'm not
face.
materialistic, but I'm not gonna live in rags. There's a difference. I'm not materialistic, but there's nice things I want. But then there's also things I know to go without.
Yeah, priorities.
So if your fiance wanted laser hair removal,
Why? She got locks. What we need laser hair removal for?
There's other parts of her body.
armpit, face,
Okay.
bikini area,
So then-
legs. Oh,
Hold on. Because we're going to
Okay. It comes with the question. It comes with the sit down and the conversation.
so
Make it
she
work.
needs to ask permission before she does something like that.
It's not asking permission. We're a partner. So we come to each other with a conversation. So it's not like you're asking me we got to spend money on a bill. We got to spend money on this. It's, hey, I want to take excess money to go do something. Okay. How much is it going to cost? How many times are we going to do this? What's the whole point of it? And then we go from there. It's a conversation versus I just show up and I've spent 7, 8, $4 or $5,000 on laser hair removal treatments over the past few months. You never said anything. You never told me anything. It may look good, but
So it's not. So for you on how you would do it, it's all one jointed income. It's not separate and then certain are together. It's all of it is
it can
together.
still be separate, but you got to understand, even when you're separate with the money, you got to understand the end goal of all of it. That'd be like me. I know my vice. I love technology. I'm either buy me a new set of headphones. I'm gonna buy a new phone. I'm gonna buy some new tech because that's me. But then I also know, what am I doing with this money? Is it valuing, or is it going to bring us something in the end? So for instance, right now, I'm saving for the wedding.
Right.
There's a couple things I want to get. I want a new watch. I want to get a couple other things, but I'm like,
Well, because you guys have a goal, right? But if you didn't have an end goal, and everything is fine,
but you should always have an end goal.
Yeah, but the priorities are different.
Right.
Like it goes back to priorities, right? She has no debt. She's using her time to save what she's doing, right? So her excess money she uses to buy nice things sometimes. He unfortunately doesn't have, he has an expensive apartment, right? He has to pay that and other bills. So he doesn't have as much, fun money as she does. So he can't be hating on her because she has more fun money than he does.
He's not hating. His values different from her values.
Or his priorities are different, for sure.
His values are different than her values.
It's values. It's about.
You think if he had the same money to spend, like
she does,
excess money, that he'd be different?
His values are completely different. He told you up front what one of his values were. He's not materialistic. He's about making sure that he set up his, like, for men that aren't materialistic, they're trying to set everybody up for later on in life.
Right. The thing that I hate about that is, like, don't pick up a woman who's materialistic then.
He might not know.
Well, let's not call her materialistic.
She's not materialistic.
Well, I don't think she's materialistic either, but in his eyes, she is.
Right. He's frugal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it comes down to, I think everybody has a vice. Everybody has something that they would spend a lot of money on that other people would be like, the absolute fuck is wrong with you, right? So for me, the red flag is not that he's frugal and she's not. The red flag is that he's aggressive about his position and he's not about letting her live. That's the problem for me. It's like, nah, you can be frugal and whatnot and just understand, like, well, I wouldn't spend my money that way, but they're not going to open up my mouth and say something to you about how you spend your money unless somehow how you spend your money is impacting my financial background, future, whatever. So that's the red flag. It's just that he has the balls to be like, well, I don't think you should get your face fixed. Like, the fuck, dog?
And the problem with that is she doesn't have to be with her. They don't have to be together.
Correct. She could just bounce and call it a
just
day.
go be with someone that doesn't mind you spending $300 every time you go get laser surgery on your face. That I don't even understand why you would do it. And again, that's just me.
But you made a face with the $40 dates.
I made a face?
You made a face.
Sure?
I watched you. You made a face like, you can't take me on no $40 dates.
I never said that.
You didn't. You said it with your face.
All their date, it's just like day and time. Like an apple's $40.
First of all, what kind of apple you eating for $40?
I'm just saying, inflation.
So what's wrong? So, okay.
No, I'm not saying anything. I just don't think that's like almost unbelievable.
Why?
You go to Trader Joe's and you pick up 4 items and it's more than $40.
I could probably plan you 6 dates right now and probably spend $10. And they
For
probably be
sure.
the best dates of your life.
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah.
So why is it unbelievable that their dates are under $40?
Okay, it's not unbelievable.
That's probably one good thing that they're compatible with.
It's coming up and being innovative.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Right.
It's not about the money spent. It's about the
what you
time
do.
spent together. It's the time spent together. And I think that's where my problem with a lot of people they need to go to Michelin star, chef star places, and they need to go to these expensive restaurants. And it's like, are you going for the food or are you going because you want to spend time together and
Both.
get to neither?
Both.
Because I'm hungry.
Now, there's nothing wrong with doing that. Nothing wrong at all. Or my fiance took me on my birthday. Whew. I looked at me. He's like, wait a minute. She's like, it's not about that. It's me wanting to do this for you. So I was like, all right, cool. Every now and again, there's nothing wrong with doing it. But
For sure.
every day?
Yeah,
No.
But every so often.
There's a time and a place for everything. Like, laid back. There's always...
There's nothing wrong with going out every now and again,
To me, maybe I made a face because that sounds like that's all he wants to do.
But even
and nothing outside that.
But even if that's all he wants to do, right? If you're vibing, why is that a problem?
No, but I'm not saying that they're not great dates or...
I feel like you are.
I'm not, because don't do that.
I get what you're saying.
No.
But it sounds from this topic.
Yeah, it
it's
seems
like she's like, he won't even go outside the box. Like, say I wanted to go to this museum and the exhibit was $65 for tickets, and like this person never comes around, but I really love art. And because it's not not that it's not within his budget. He just doesn't want to spend the funds on that.
I get that.
So to me, that's why what I'm thinking.
But see, that's a beautiful thing about having autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, well, if you don't want to spend it, I will spend it.
For sure.
You know what I mean? That's like,
but that gets annoying when you are always the person in the relationship who always, rather than.
I get that.
Run.
Run.
Yeah.
Like, it's really.
I will say, like, so I know a couple that, they're older, but the male part was like that. He grew up very poor. Mm-hmm. And so his trauma response to that was
hold on to everything.
He was about his money, very smart about investing, this man, I remember, and I was I was in junior high and we were on a vacation and he was somehow talking about like the way he did things. He did shift work. And so what he would do is if he knew that he needed to get tires for the car, then he would work overtime to pay for the tires. Mm-hmm. He would never go deviate from the budget. Like anything planned, he worked overtime, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, the hard part is saving the first 100,000. Right? This is in the 80s, right? I was like, huh? The first. So when they retired, when he went to his financial advisor, he was about to retire, and he was like, how are we doing? And the guy was like, I want you to make a list of everything and anything you ever wanted to do, buy, whatever. Make that list and then go ahead and do it because you're straight. Mm-hmm. Now, she suffered through years of being on these strict budgets and things like that. But now
she's living gracefully.
Right. Mm-hmm. So
there's a fine line with that, too, because you hold on to that. You don't have experiences because you're so frugal. And then you get up there in age and you can't even do the things that you wanted to do. So I think it's like a balancing act that you have to be careful with.
You got people who never left the state,
right.
Never left the country.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, that is the other side. You get so locked into saving that you don't know how to spend. The saving is the turn on.
Like, for the experience. You don't got to spend it on junk and dumb stuff, but you can at least book yourself a nice vacation or, a cruise or go out the country and visit all these places. Like there's ways to spend it and have that experience.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword for real. Because I'm going to save, but it gets to a point where I'm like, all right, let's just go.
Mm-hmm. Or she might have to plan it for you. For y'all. She's going to have to do it. Yeah, because you're not going to do it. So she's going to have to do it.
And that's cool. I don't mind not planning.
Yeah, that's fine.
Planning is difficult.
It is.
It takes a lot.
And I've noticed that. Like a lot of men don't do all that because they just want to save. Mm-hmm. And their partner has to, all right, well, we're going to go away over here. Let's book it. Call it a day.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to do it because when we don't do it to your liking or standard, we got here your shit.
No. Yes and no.
Right.
Yes and no. Okay.
Yeah.
You should know your woman. You should know her enough to where you know where she's gonna want to go and not want to go to.
Yeah, you would think.
Yes and no.
Is she the type to travel and then not do excursions? Would she want to do excursions?
I've known that going into it.
You've known what?
What she likes to do.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So if you did wanted to surprise her with a vacation, you know what to plan. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But if I want to deviate from the plan, just do something different. Let's just do it.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
But at least you know that. You know your woman enough to know what to do and what not to do.
But see, if I want to deviate from the plan, let's just take a risk.
Yeah. But you have to know your person, right? There's some people who can't even deal with deviation, right?
And you know how we deal with this? We just let you plan. And then like,
well, yeah, you know your person. Like, I'm surprising you. Here's the budget. Like, if you want to surprise somebody who's like that, I'm surprising you. Here's your budget. Pick where you want to go.
Yeah.
We make a joke about it, but it goes back to that basic question: which one for dinner?
What do you want for dinner?
And then when I pick what's for dinner, I ain't with that. Now I'm not saying I have that problem, but that's the joke of it. When I say, yo, what's for dinner? Well, what do you want to eat? I don't know what I want. Just pick something. All right, cool. I'm going to go get a pizza. I don't want a pizza.
So your new question needs to be, what don't you want for dinner?
It doesn't
matter. I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know.
Because I know what I'm not in the mood for.
Yeah, when you hear it.
You hear it.
When
you hear it, you know what you're not in the mood for.
Well, try. Ask her one day and see what response you get.
I don't have to ask. I'm just going to cook it.
Okay, there you go. Or do it. There you go.
I think the hardest question is she'll ask me what I want for dinner. Oh, that's probably the hardest question, is asking me what I want for dinner. Because I'm a foodie. Mm-hmm. I love food.
Unless you're on your diet.
That's the other problem. I'm on a healthy kick. Healthy food for 6 days out the week. But that's not the point. She'll ask me what I want for dinner. Because I know her range of cooking. It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, like what when she asks you what do you want me to cook, then it's like, ooh, what
Yeah.
I'm getting to choose what I want you to cook. Okay, that's different. But if it's just a general, we planning to probably go do something, ain't no dinner cooked or something like that, and you got to ask your woman, yo, what do you want to eat?
Like, I like options.
Really don't,
like, give me 2-3 options, and I could choose from that.
But I'm giving you the option to have the option.
No, I need 3 options.
Why you need 3 options?
Because it helped me help you pick a decision on what it is quicker.
But shouldn't you have 3 options in your head?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm not really the cooker. He's the cooker. So
It's not about the cooker. It's about eating.
No.
You know what you want to eat, right?
No, I don't.
Why?
Because you didn't give me my options.
Okay. So then
That's
okay.
just how I am.
So then this goes with the trips. If you didn't give me the option,
Mm-hmm.
and then I pick the option,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a right to be upset with the option?
No, if you're doing a surprise, I don't got no say.
It's not a surprise. I'm asking you where you want to go.
No, I would look into it. I'd be like, give me a few days and I'll pick something.
And if you don't pick something,
Then you pick it.
now.
But I'm going to be picking something.
Okay. So let's use the example you don't pick anything.
Okay.
Jazzy, let's go on a trip. Where you want to go?
Somewhere hot.
Oh my God.
No. Let's go there. Somewhere hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Use our passport.
Is there a particular thing you just want to go
We
somewhere
could
hot?
go to the islands.
Go to an island.
Yeah.
That's it. But you don't know what island you want to go to. You just want to go somewhere hot.
Let's go to an island.
Okay.
So it could be the Bahamas. It could be Aruba.
Gulligo Island. That's where you going.
But do you see how you're now giving me things to work off of?
Yeah.
Now,
That's
I'm
how
asking
that's how I am.
So I'm asking you in a general sense when I go, where do you want to go on a trip? And you
Mhm.
say, I don't know.
I'm not going to give you, I don't know. I'm going to give you something to go off of.
You won't. You're the exception, the majority. So if I go, hey, where you want to go? And you're like, I don't know.
Oh, no, that's not my problem.
But then I pick where we go.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a right to be upset?
No,
No.
because you had free range. I told you I don't know.
But you know how many people get upset?
But that also comes down to, do you know your partner?
It's not about knowing your partner.
Yes, it is.
I can know you all day long.
You should
I
know
can-
your partner. Have they
Right.
gone out the state? Have they gone out the country? Where have they been? Do they talk about places that they want to visit?
Can they
Are you-
swim?
Right.
Here we go.
What?
Can they swim? Do they have a passport? What are places? Oh my gosh.
Even knowing
One
all
day
that.
I want to go to this place.
Right.
Mental note, cool. So next time, all right, do you have an idea where you want to go? No. Okay, that's fine. She did mention she wanted to go to Aruba. Let me book a trip to Aruba. That's paying attention to your partner.
You can
What
pay
you owe my
attention.
God in for?
I think I know where
He
you're
asked the
going.
question.
But you can know your partner all day long. Know their
Mhm.
likes, know what they like to do, what they want to do. I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to go here. But man, she didn't say anything about not going to this place.
Okay.
So you want to go somewhere hot all the time. Our last 10 vacations have been hot.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the Poconos.
No, because you know I don't like going to a cold place. I
But my thing
specifically
is,
said I want to go to a warm
If we
place.
always going somewhere hot,
Mm-hmm.
why can't we switch it up? You would never know if you like somewhere cold if you ain't been.
Then let's talk about it.
Why can't we go someplace I want to go?
Right.
Especially since I'm paying
That
for it.
too.
Then say that.
Well, that it's inferred.
Communicate, damn it. I don't got time for
No,
this.
but
But I
Right.
asked you.
Communicate.
But I asked you where you wanted to go, and you said you didn't know. So I gave you the option for you now to pick where we're going because you did not pick
See,
where we're
I
going.
don't have a response to that because I'm not that person who would say I don't know. I would give you options or give you places or ideas on where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who says I don't know, you pick. That's I
They
can't
can't-
respond
they don't
to
have a
that.
position to be
They don't have a
upset.
say.
Yet they take it.
Mm-hmm.
The average dude deals with that.
Yeah, I feel bad for the average
Most
guy.
men,
Sorry.
the majority of men deal with. I've been doing everything you wanted to do.
Mhm.
Let's do something I want to do, and then it causes a problem.
Yeah,
Break up
'cause
with her.
if he would have said like, 'cause
God
if my guy
damn,
says
right?
that, if my guy says that to me, I want to go here. All right, cool.
Yeah,
That's like someone who can't bend. I don't want to be with anyone who can't bend. Like I always do what you do.
You're not a lesbian, right? You won't have to worry about that.
About what?
Being with somebody that won't bend, because what he's saying, what he's
Men
trying
can
to say.
bend too.
No, what when it comes to which gender has a tendency to be more willing to bend,
It's the
men.
guy.
right? So that's what I'm saying. You're not a lesbian, so guess what? You don't have to worry about being in a situation where you don't have you have to bend.
Compromise. There's
Yeah,
a
that's what I'm
compromise.
saying.
If he
Whether
communicates,
it's
how about we
either
go here?
side.
They work in perfect scenarios based on what they would do and ignore the rest of the world.
But that's why I
what
say
happens.
break up with them. If that person,
But
if
I
you
love
are a
them.
guy,
But I
Well,
love
then
them.
you
well,
know-
they don't love you enough. They really don't. They're very selfish and they don't think about you and they only think about themselves. Can you deal with that? Then my question is, you love them? Can you deal with that for the rest of your life?
No,
You
why?
think
That's
so?
why I'm
I don't want to
single.
hear
That's
you
why I'm
bring her
single.
up again. Don't bring her up. Or you're not invited to happy hour
See
because
how
you
this
always bring her
goes?
up.
You see how this goes? You see? Because
You chose her? Stick with her.
But you act
You
like-
love her.
no, because women
Don't complain.
because women tend to have very selfish moments because
Mhm.
you're right.
Yeah, we
because
do.
because you have an emotional you respond based on how you're feeling in that moment. And so then we got to work through you going through your emotional moment to getting to a point where you calm down so then we can be you can be reasonable and rational, and then we can work through it. And you're like, okay, you're right. We can't do such and such. But the point is, we got to navigate through all that bullshit to get to the point where, okay, now we're going to bang. And that's exhausting.
Yeah, I bet. That's sad. I feel bad for y'all.
But you do it.
I don't do that.
No,
I think I communicate. I communicate, and they communicate.
Not you. Not you as in general of saying you. You as in general of, again, the average. I don't deal with that. Me and my friends, I got a great communication system. I've learned to see.
That's important. That's what it should be. So if you're not communicating and they not communicating.
What I had to do to get to this point?
It takes work.
Oh, man.
It takes work to get there. But
see, the work it took. So with some men, they know the work it took to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So they get to the point to where, like you say, okay, break up with them. But if I invest this time, this effort, this money, this time, one thing I don't get back is time. So forget the money. I invest this much time into it. And it never was like this before. Why I just need to break up with it because it was before.
I don't mean just like throw your whole relationship away, but if you don't see that person's ever willing to be unwavering, if that person's never willing to cater to you and you need that, it's not going to work. That's not fair.
But you know, what's not fair is that normally everybody starts out full of compromise. And no, they defer and whatnot. And the longer the relationship goes on, the more dug in people get, because it's like, all right, well, I didn't spend this pound. Like, I've done things that I didn't want to do before. I don't want to do it. And you get away with it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. And then all of a sudden that just becomes the standard, because he's not pushing you to do anything because you guys dig your heels in. So it's not a red flag situation where you were inflexible in the very beginning and I still decided to move forward with you. It's like, yo, you used to be fun. We used to do all these things. You used to be so adventurous. And now all of a sudden you don't want to fucking go nowhere, do nothing. I've seen it with my friends.
That's life. You change.
Right.
You have kids. Like,
see?
You're right.
You just have to find a way to revamp your relationship.
You do have a right to change. You're absolutely correct. Everyone in a relationship has a right to change. But at what cost? How much change is everyone willing to do in that relationship? Where some people get frustrated is they feel like they're doing all the changing. They're doing all the compromising. So before they just call it a quits, they try to get the other to understand, yo, you're not compromising on anything.
100%.
Then what do you do?
And if they don't change, then dismiss yourself.
It depends. And some people don't change right away, right? But if you get to the point where you feel as if you can't do this anymore, what do you want to be upset for the rest of your life? Or is it that you're feared to be alone now?
It's not. All right. So,
or you're unhappy. Like, should you be unhappy?
But a lot of times they won't leave because of the time that they invested.
No,
but you're unhappy.
It's not about the time that you invested. It's because you love the person that you're with.
Yeah, you can love the person, but you love yourself more. If you're not happy, then you should remove yourself.
And then you bring it up to the person on multiple occasions, and they still don't change. You should still stay in that. And I'm a type of person, like, I'm really big on marriage. Like, I feel like that's a huge commitment, and you don't give up on it. You fight through it. It's not easy. Like, all relationships, it's not easy. So I'm not saying that lightly, just like break up with them.
So,
but at what point do you stay in it?
Or no, at what point do you leave?
Or do you leave? Yeah.
I would like just for people to be more mature and understanding that and respecting the couple version of the relationship and the individualist side of the relationship. And just understand that, like, somebody, they say the person who is least interested in maintaining a relationship will always dominate the relationship. And I would like for, it just seems to be that in the case we're talking about, it's the women who become the least interested in maintaining a relationship. And that is just a byproduct of them being like, well, you ain't going nowhere. I don't care what you're going to do. So I have no reason or want to change. Like, that's toxic as fuck. Like, why would you be with somebody if you don't want to grow and evolve together? Why would you be with somebody if they're telling you I want to do something and you don't want to do it, but they want to do it? True love is being like, well, I don't want to do it, but I also want to see you happy. Right. So let me try to figure this shit out. Why are we not doing this? Why is it that it's so, because both of you are like, just leave. If you're not happy, just leave. But it's like, damn. So why are we fighting for relationships and dating and getting married and doing all these things only to get together, to get to the point where now, all right, I did everything I was supposed to do to land you. We all locked in now. Now I ain't doing shit I don't want to do. And fuck it.
Well, when I say just leave, I'm meaning because you did everything you could. I'm not just saying just leave because, all right, y'all can agree and call it a day. No, put in the work. Do what you can, especially if you invested so much time. There has to be communication. There has to be work. There needs time for the change to happen. I'm not just being like, oh, well, you told me this yesterday and I decided to leave today. Like, nah, put in the work. Especially if you love that person.
Maybe we should be that way. Because I feel... no, hear me out. Like, Spider, like, goddamn, dog. No, because when we feel like, when we're comfortable and we feel like things are locked in, we don't work hard. Because we just, it's like, it's locked in, it's there. But if there's that threat that, like, at any given moment, the person can leave, maybe we would stay in that, like, I'm trying to please you and work with the situation mode.
I don't think that works. That's just like the couple who always throws around divorce every time they get in a fight.
That's not healthy.
Well, no, not the divorce thing, but, like, we talk about dating, and it's like, when we were first dating, you were just throwing in P's and Q's, right?
Yeah, let's say you're in it for a few years, and y'all may disconnect for a little bit. Y'all got to find that common ground again. Like, come back together. Like, where did it fall off? What happened? What was said? What argument? What did you do? From each other. Figure out where the disconnect came from, and then figure it out. And if y'all come to a comment, but now remember, these are for mature adults who have conversations. And if y'all get to a point where, like, y'all mature enough to be like, you know what? I haven't been happy for over a year and a half. You haven't been happy for over a year and a half. Have we just went through our course, and are we just better off to separate? Or did something happen that you didn't acknowledge with me, and you've been holding on to that for over a year and a half, and that's why we've disconnected? Like, communication needs to be had and to figure it out. So if it gets to that point, then cool. But then there's other parts where, like, you know what? I'm just not the same person. You're not the same person. We're too different now. My wants and needs are completely different from your wants and needs. And my goals, our dreams are completely different now. And sometimes you just have to bail out gracefully. But just always, you just have to put in the work. I would never want to give up, because it's the dating pool is crazy. Put in the work. Do your thing, okay?
Don't not give up because the dating pool is crazy.
Well,
don't
do it. Don't give up, because at the end of the day, if y'all were together for long enough to where y'all had a lot in common, y'all love each other's time, y'all bring out the best in each other. So where's the disconnect? And once y'all figure that out, cool. Find it, get back together, figure something out. But if it's just out,
disconnect is, I want to go to the Poconos.
Oh my god! I want to go somewhere warm, and you want to go somewhere cold.
I want to go skiing.
But
Let's go to both.
But then that's right. But, like, you know what? This year we'll go this place, but then next year we'll go this place. Switch it up, like every other year, hot and cold. So y'all both get what y'all want.
We can be some really affluent people here, because I'm talking about, like, I'm thinking about the low budget people, But
Poconos is down the road,
I know, right?
Do your thing.
We can go in the summer when it's warm.
There you go. That's recovery. Let's go to Poconos in the summer.
When y'all come back.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Don't be like that.
Don't be like. Have you been to the Poconos? You ain't like it?
I haven't gone in years.
I haven't gone in years.
You need to go paintballing or something.
Sure. Paintballing hurts, man.
Yeah.
Don't get hit.
I be getting hit.
Nah, I don't want to do that.
What else you got, Jazzy?
Hold on, let me find it. Here we go. Ooh.
They hard, Spider. They hard, man.
This one's an mine asshole. Mine asshole for telling my husband I hate his mother.
Damn, please.
I specifically get this one. My husband and I have been married for 4 years. During my marriage, I've observed he's a bit of a mama's boy. She's in a different country, retired and living with her husband. He will call her almost every day, help them financially, send her on holidays to where she wants to go, etc. He's been saying he wants to bring both his parents to where we are, since they're lonely and it would be nice to spend time with their grandkids. Later, I did find out that coming here to our country was his mother's idea. I didn't really have a problem with any of this, as it's kind of expected in our culture. We are Southeast Asians. But I was still low-key feeling insecure because it felt like his parents came first. Anyway, yesterday my husband and I were driving to the shops. When he gets a call from his sister, the conversation went normal until he starts bringing up his plans to visit his family and how he hasn't found any cheap tickets. I was a bit taken back because I wasn't aware he had plans to visit them this year. After he got off the phone, I asked him about his plans, and he casually says he's planning on going since his sister is also visiting this year and wants to go together so they can be together with his parents. I didn't react at the moment, but I was very, very upset. Today, I decided to bring it up just to tell him how I felt about him making plans without me, especially because I had asked him to go on vacation this year, and he made every excuse under the sun not to. The conversation turned into an argument after he says, "My mom wants me to come. I have to." In the heat of the moment, I said I hated her, and he only listens to her. He said some mean things afterwards, saying he didn't care about how I felt and my feelings are stupid. Am I the asshole?
Yes and no. Well, yeah, because it's not that you hate his mother. So the underlying issue is because she said it herself. She wanted to go on a trip. You went on a trip. You planned a different trip without me. So you are in that sense because what you said had nothing to do with his mom.
Well, it kind of has to do with his mom because he's always
That's fine.
going to his mom.
That's fine. It's his mother. Just like it'd be her mother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to disrespect anybody's mom. I don't got to like you.
Mm-hmm.
But for you to say it in that context, you're wrong. Because it had nothing to do with his mom. It had everything to do with, I wanted to go on a trip. You planned a trip without me. And now you're using his mother as the scapegoat. Versus saying, I hated the fact that you planned to do a trip without me and I wanted to go somewhere. You could have left it at that.
Yeah.
And then the argument would have been about, you did something without planning with me. Had nothing to do with his mom.
God.
If she was going on a trip with him,
She wouldn't. Yeah.
she would have been fine.
If he would have planned it to where she was going and everything like that, it'd be like, I may not like your mother-in-law. I may not like my mother-in-law, but I'm gonna sit through it. But it was just a mere fact that he did it. He planned it without her, and that's where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
And she even said at the end of her, it came from a place of hurt. Yeah, you were hurt at that moment, and you said something you didn't. You said the truth in the wrong context. That's why I said it's a yes and a no.
And I'm like, she got to get over it. You already know culturally, whether they're toxic or not, the responsibilities of a son to the parents and all that. You from the same culture, so it's not shocking to you. So if the son has the ability to take care of his parents, he's going to do that. And if you feel like, you're unable to travel because he's giving money to his parents, helping them, then you say that.
Yeah.
But you don't hate his mother because that's not like she's like a nasty woman and that's why you dislike her. So
yeah, it's actually not the mother's fault. The son is the one who has cultivated and nurtured that dynamic. She is absolutely the asshole. Or you don't ever come at mother-in-law because you can't unring that bell. Like you can feel that way, you can have problems with, but go talk to a therapist, like work it out or try to figure out what you can do to change the things in the dynamic to make it a little bit better. But to say it, no, some things are best left not unsaid, and that's it. So yeah, the situation is shitty, but no, you don't say that about a person's family. Never.
She the asshole.
She the asshole.
And I got one more, but this is more like someone's venting.
Okay.
They need to get shit off their chest. He found his girlfriend's body count list.
Yay! Good for him, and good for her for knowing.
Why good for him?
Hold on, let me read. Hold on, let me read. We need details.
No. Before you read, there's a list. Like you kept a list.
She kept a list.
She didn't want to forget nobody.
Yeah,
she got
her roster. To know her number.
Yeah. Okay.
It's important to women, man. It's important.
I have been dating my girlfriend for 6 months now. All is well with the relationship, and we both said we loved each other. However, I stumbled upon her body count list on her notes app while I was looking for a grocery list for a party.
That's a party, boy.
Ooh, the list contained 30 plus names of dudes she slept with. I feel like absolute shit as I've been in 2 relationships and have slept with only my current girlfriend.
That's why we're upset.
If I'm being honest, this discovery led me to do a bit of snooping and finding out that she regularly sent nudes to any person who showed her interest before we started dating. She has also slept with a coworker who she still works with and was invited to a party we hosted. I don't know how I feel or what to do about this situation, as she is truly a remarkable girl. But her morals regarding this type of thing is making me not think straight, and it's really bothering me.
Word.
Spider, you have any comment?
First, run. Second, this is why you don't go looking.
Well, he didn't look for it.
Who should run? He should run? Or she should run?
He should run.
Why should he run?
Right.
Okay. So he already has an issue. She has a body count. Okay. He's never going to get over that issue. Right.
Does he think that any girl that he's been with doesn't have a body count?
That's why you don't ask. But
he didn't ask.
Once you now find out, once you know, and now that you have an issue with it, you will not let that go.
30 plus names.
First of all, woman, why do you have a list of the? First of all,
That's besides the point of her having a list.
That's not besides the point.
Yes, it is.
That's not besides the point.
I respect her for that.
Like, I understand you keeping a knowledge book of who you've had sex with because you never know what could happen in this day and age. But come on, don't.
It's in her phone.
It's her personal
device.
She might have just one day thought about it and was like,
With
you
her
know,
friends,
like, let me see, and just
yeah.
started putting the names down in person because I actually did that.
Yeah.
Like just running through the list and to get my number, and I was like, all right, and I didn't delete it, so somebody can go on my phone and have a body count list that's not updated. But
When was the last time you went in that list, Brandon?
it's been a couple of years, so the number has increased. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I personally would be happy. I'm like, okay, because she knows what the fuck she's doing, right? She sowed her oats. She
don't got no oats to sow.
Right. So if she decides to settle upon me, she more than likely won't be wondering at some point in time, did I miss out on any opportunities or do I feel locked in? Because she's like, I've had my experiences. I know what's out there. I know Brandon is the guy for me across the board, bar none. I'm good. He needs to grow the fuck up. That's what it all comes down to. Grow the fuck up. He's mad because he's got two. I've only had two girlfriends.
Yeah.
That's
but
what
if his number was high as fuck, he wouldn't give a fuck.
He's insecure about it.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
What's
Just
the
dude
no?
coming from different value. That's really what it is. Brandon don't care.
Right. I don't give
Brandon
a
don't
fuck.
care. His woman could have a body count. He can have a body count. Brandon don't care.
As a matter of
He
fact.
cares.
You about to get married. What if she had 30?
How does he
Does
know
that
that she doesn't
change?
have 30?
That's what I'm saying. You don't know.
I don't know.
And you're not going to ask because that's not a question a guy is going to ask. But
I don't care. See,
so now you don't care.
No. I didn't say there was a thing with caring or not caring. I said he cares.
You was just about to say, I don't care.
Right.
When it comes to body
Wasn't
count,
he about to say that,
I
though?
felt like
What
I was going to say that.
no,
twice.
I'm saying that I don't care about her body count. I'm built different.
So that's what we're asking. We're asking on your opinion on it.
For him, my opinion on it, he shouldn't care. But now that he knows, now that he found out,
But you told him to run. Why you telling him to run?
because he's saying
cares.
that he cares, so he's not
Right.
going to get over it, and he's always going to bring it up. He's always going to
Always.
worry about it. Like him,
Bro,
we're talking
right.
about the advice
Him
for the guy.
specifically.
him specifically,
Yeah.
for him specifically, though he may be venting, the fact that he's upset about it, he found out about it. It was a coworker. They still work together.
Yeah,
he's
that
telling
part
you
is a little
all
too
these-
much. Like,
he's
don't
telling
be
you
bringing
all these
dudes that you
things.
fucked
It's
over,
this,
dog.
it's that.
Don't
This
do
is
that.
this is past venting.
Yeah.
He's not gonna get over that.
Yeah.
Run
I-
for
I-
him. For some dudes, it don't matter. If you
So
a
for
hoe, you a
him,
hoe, B.
either get over it and keep it moving, or if it's gonna bother you, leave.
He's writing about it. It's gonna bother him.
I think he can get past it. I think,
By the way, they're in their early 20s.
oh my.
I'm not going to hear your.
He's 21. He's 21.
He's not gonna get
She's
over it.
22.
He's not gonna get.
He's going to think about like, oh,
30
guy
at
number
22?
18 probably.
She's a good time.
Yeah, she's a fun one.
She is, man. Hold on. To her.
I wanted to save that for last.
But you know what? I mean, it was like the thing from last episode where the girl had said
she slept with someone every day of the week.
No, she slept with 7. Like, I think the number within a week's time, she slept with 46 men.
Yes, I remember. It was each day she slept with somebody.
Like 5 or 6 guys a
A
day.
day.
Yeah, it was something like that. So,
I was like, oh my God.
yeah. And but it was more on the weekend. She's like, during
Yes.
the week. So the week
It
was
was
like
like
5.
doubled.
Yeah, it was like, that was just during the week, though.
Oh my God. Can you imagine she wrote a list down?
She couldn't even probably remember.
I'm cool.
Oh, Lord.
You can stay over there.
We have to stop. We need to get off the whole pilgrim, with the Puritans and the pilgrims and the virtue and the sanctity or whatever. Yo, people fuck. Okay, that's just what it comes down to.
5 dudes in one day.
That's a lot.
People
No.
Every day?
fuck. People fuck. And in
I'm not
different.
saying that they don't.
No,
Fuck
but
the
I
same
mean,
person every time, not like
I
5
know.
different people a day.
That's
But there
just
are different
dangerous.
cultures.
I'm not even
but
talking
there's
about.
different cultures. There's things go down in different cultures. From an anthropological, we're going to go into some science. We're going to go into some science. The reason you know what a penis looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
In the head. Spiders like, I
You gonna
never
get
look down.
philosophical,
I mean, if
whatever.
you're gonna break it down, no.
Yeah, right. But the head is shaped the way that it's shaped, right? There is a ledge, and what that ledge is actually scraping out semen from another man, because the whole idea is like we're supposed to be trying to procreate and get our seed in there. So if I have sex with a woman who's had sex with another man, he's ejaculated in her, part of my as I'm fucking her, I'm extracting but that other man's semen out to make room for my semen. That is why the penis is shaped. It is evolved into that shape. So biologically, through history, there was a point in time where people were fucking multiple people a day, every day. So I don't even want to hear I mean, I know we're in a place now where we judge and all that stuff, but the way we are trying to live our lives, it goes against our biology and the way that we were actually built. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's science, it's history, it's there.
I'm good. Just stay there. Yeah. That's just me. Again, it's two different.
Right.
Yeah.
It's two different views on it.
That's like with guys. They've been doing that
from the very beginning.
That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna be a hoe, be a hoe. That's
no. If you're gonna, don't call a hoe, because that puts a negative connotation on it. No, it puts a negative connotation. If you are going to have sex with multiple people, then sleep with multiple people. That's what you do, and that's how you do it. And call, we're not going to slut shame.
Okay. We're not slut shaming. It's the same thing like horrible decisions.
Okay, how so?
So
they say that they're reclaiming the word.
Yeah, but I'm not in this reclaiming the word space. I just rather not use it and say and just acknowledge that everybody operates in the way that they want to operate. And if you want to have different sex, multiple partners in one night, one day, 1 week, whatever, however you want to do it, but we shouldn't be calling it any other thing. But that is what you're going to do.
Not for me.
You like it? I love it for you.
You like it? I love it for you, not for me.
Yeah.
Jazz, what?
All right, I got one more. I got this from 6 Brown Chicks. I've been with Kiana for 4 years, and I always looked out for someone sexier who could upgrade my lifestyle. I met an older woman and bounced. A mutual friend helped me move my stuff out, and then he moved in with Kiana behind my back. My older woman gave me a deadline to move out by May 1st, and I want to reconnect with Kiana, but my former friend is blocking me. He says they're serious, and he wants my blessing to marry her. I said, fuck no. How do I break them up? The king misses his castle and queen.
So how do you break them up? You don't. You messed that up yourself. Grass ain't always green on the other side. That's what you
that part.
That's a big haha on you, because your man was waiting for you. He was waiting. What Trey Songz say? Can't help but he was waiting.
Congratulations to him, by the way. Congratulations to him. To the guy, the friend that was waiting.
Yeah. To the friend. Yeah.
He said, "Oh, no problem. I'm gonna help you move out."
He was playing chess.
Oh yeah.
Are you moving? I got you, fam. I'm gonna get the trailer. I'm gonna help you move the couch.
Shit, he'll even pay for the damn U-Haul.
You know what the bad part about that is? What? The girl and him was probably plotting it the whole time.
Probably.
For him to be able to move in that quick.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about you. It's you can't break them up.
She knew you was doing your thing.
He's asking you for your blessing in a sense to just tell you, yo, this is happening. He don't care if you give him his blessing or not. He's letting you know, yo, we getting married. You missed out. Sorry to tell you.
Yeah, again, congratulations to that friend. He's been plotting and planning.
Yeah, yes.
I bet that first time that they fucked was probably just the wallpaper probably fell off the walls from the intensity. Yeah.
All right, I got one more. This is to let y'all know, don't get caught up. Okay. My father-in-law had surgery, and my wife flew to Virginia to care for him. But her air tags that I hid in her luggage proved she was in Miami. Her dad says my wife didn't visit, and he didn't have surgery. My cousin is also in Miami. I told him where she was staying, and I asked him to snap a few pics of her at the hotel. He agreed. My cousin's girlfriend told me he's in Miami with my wife. They traveled together. Wife removed the air tags, and neither one of them are responding. I've slept with my cousin's girlfriend all over his house. No condom, left my seed everywhere, including his toothbrush, as payback. But it's not enough. What else should I do? I need advice.
You can stop there.
You need help.
He's toxic across the board.
Oh, Lord. People are wild.
First of all, if you gotta hide air tags in your woman's bag before she goes somewhere, why are we here?
That part.
Why are we here? That's step one. If I gotta, man, I don't know where she's going. I'm gonna put these air tags in her, so I don't trust where she. Why are we here?
Yep.
At that point in a relationship, we don't even need to be in the relationship. If I don't trust where you going. Yeah. I was done from that point. But then it's
just they're all messy.
That's
they're
toxic.
all messy. They're all messy people. There is nothing left to be done. And what's wrong with old girl that she's not She must not have an iPhone because I think with the AirTags, the way that's set up, if you have AirTags
near you, it goes off.
You.
Yeah,
that's why she turned them. She got rid of them.
No, I think she found. No, he let her know like through the things like I know you're not in such and such because blah blah blah. I think she found them from that. Okay. But you see, no, there's no revenge to be had. Don't condone revenge. Like
especially that like you got your fluids everywhere, and then on his toothbrush, he could like sue you or some shit. Yeah, that's disgusting. Girl, just let it go.
Yeah, that's
find a new girl. Call it a day.
People are fucked up.
The time that you have to do that though. That's what I don't.
Well, it was easy for him. All he gotta do was fuck the girl, so he fucked her and then put his shit everywhere.
To go get his toothbrush.
Right.
Yeah.
Yo, which one's his toothbrush? Like, is his the blue one or the green one? Like, do you see the thought process behind all that?
And he made sure that the thought part. Listen, when you hurt and fucked up, you gonna figure it out.
No, you don't.
No.
There's just not
to be with your cousin's girlfriend wasn't enough.
No, to him, no.
Because cousin was knocking his wife down.
No payback.
She wasn't for you. She was for the streets.
But
clearly.
What is going? Where am I missing in my life that like so my girl can sleep with somebody else and then I can go and sleep with somebody else's girl? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what is going on here? Like. Yo, I heard Cindy sleeping with blah blah. So let me sleep with you. Okay, what the fuck?
Because they both cheated on each other, so
they thought it was double payback.
Yeah, double payback, which is stupid.
But you see what I'm saying, Spider? Like this sexual compatibility. Because just because, like, are you just fucking to fuck the person out of revenge? Like, I gotta want to fuck you on a certain level, not just.
Yeah, but there's men out there that'll fuck anything. Clearly,
yep,
that is true.
There are no standards for some of them. It's like, you're his girl, I'm gonna fuck you just for payback.
I hate it here.
It takes too much work to do that.
For real.
This is why I question relationships all the time, like monogamy and all that, because more people cheat than not. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like at some point in time, so why are we jumping through hoops to get into these situations only to then get to the point where it's like, now we got to sneak around and do this and hurt people and motherfuckers have been killed over these situations. True. So why are we doing this society? I don't understand. If we cannot make a commitment and stick with it and not cheat, then why are we putting such a high priority on it?
Why do men cheat?
Why do women cheat?
Why do men cheat? Y'all say you're a different species and you think differently and...
Bro, the number of married women.
I'd ask you a question. We'll get to the women.
But
why do men cheat?
Why do men cheat? Because we're visual creatures. We cheat for the same. We actually cheat for the same reasons women cheat.
Yeah.
We're not. It's not any different. It's not any different. Everybody, we try to make it a gender specific thing, but no, people cheat because
they want to cheat.
Because they have options. We don't live in villages with 20 people. So you get your person and there's no temptation. You go online every hour or two, there's a new person that you would happily have some fun with, right? We travel, we have access to hundreds of thousands of people now, just personally. You get tempted. And if you're having a moment where you're not happy because you wanted to go to the Poconos and your bitch want to go to the Bahamas, and you're unhappy, now you're going to stray. It's just, yeah. Is that an accurate answer for you, Brown Sugar?
Yeah.
Yeah, men cheat for the same reasons y'all cheat.
A person will cheat. A person is going to cheat as good as his options are.
You don't stay loyal, yeah.
That's for men and women. You going to cheat is as good as your options are. The option is there for you to do it, and you can get away with it.
You're going to do it.
If you're that type of person,
then you're going to do it.
Then you're going to do it.
Because there's always going to be options.
I'm about to say, there's always going to be an option, but the option has to be there and to be available. Men and women are always going to have that same option. Someone's going to try to come for my woman. Someone's going to try to come for me. Someone's going to try to make themselves available. But you are only going to do as available as your options. If you cut yourself off from them, and you got to be able to personally be able to cut yourself off from those options by not putting yourself
or
out
not
there.
Put yourself
right.
in
not
situations. Yeah.
I also think it has a lot to do with where you're at in life and what you've experienced, right? True. I've gotten to the point where I've had enough experiences with enough women and whatnot that I feel very settled. I'm not moved by women the way I used to be in terms of an attractive woman. Like,
so you cut yourself from those options.
Well, no, but I mean,
it's easier for you to cut yourself from those options.
I don't look at it as cutting myself from those options. It's just what I see. Like, I don't see an attractive woman on Instagram and think I want to fuck her or blah, blah, blah. I just see an attractive woman and I keep it moving because that's where I'm at in life. But a few years ago, when I was less on my experiences, that's when I saw an attractive woman. Those are the thoughts that came to my mind. So I feel like at this stage in the game, if I were to get into it would be easier for me to get into a committed monogamous relationship because I'm not checking for attractive women like that. If you catch my attention, then you have my full attention. And that's just because I've lived my life. I've had my fun. I've run the streets. I know what's out there. I have these experiences to draw on. I think a lot of people, they settle down so early in life that then they start wondering like, wow, man, I wonder what this is like or wonder what that is like. Like, I know what a lot of these things is like, you know? I'm not going to say that all pussy is the same, but I'm going to say I've experienced enough of the variations to understand that there's no surprises. You know what I mean? Like, so.
And then the thing I feel as though, and like I said, we're gonna get on to women because y'all cheat. It's a whole different meaning. You can tell me it's not, but it is. So my whole thing with the cheating thing, for me, cheating is not always the end all be all. Because for you to actually want to go explore those options, there had to have been something that wasn't being presented before you. And again, some people think cheating is always it's a sexual thing. Man, you could be with a woman, she's cooked you meals every day for the past 4 or 5 years, and all of a sudden now she just stopped cooking you a meal. So it's like, all right, you're not cooking me a meal. The first person to offer to cook me a meal, I'm gonna go eat. That's the brain of that person. You haven't cooked me a meal for months. I'm used to being able to get a meal provided for me. Now someone's talking to me and you go, you know what? I'm gonna cook you some dinner. All right, I'm gonna go get me some food. It starts out with me going to get what I wasn't getting. Then it's going to lead to other things. Well, I got my meal. What else can I get while I'm here? And that's how it starts. So I know for some people, the cheating isn't, it's a sexual thing. It was, I wasn't getting something. It could be food. It could be conversation. It could be understanding. That's what I mean by your options. When you put yourself out there because you're not getting something where you're home at, you're going to go cheat. Yeah. And the bad part about it is, and this has just been my experience over life, when a woman goes and does it, it's one, to be malicious. Two, it's because I felt like doing it. Home could have been fine. Home could have been this. Everything could have been cool. I just wanted to do it.
I disagree.
I'm gonna disagree with you.
Sometimes it's a malicious thing. It's an emotional thing. It's somebody that wanted to do it with. Yeah, it's women have more of an emotional contact with sex than men.
Understandable, but she wasn't getting something emotionally from at home, so she got it from somewhere else.
I feel like we're so quick to genderize a lot of things, like apply things to specific genders, which I'm trying to get us to the point where we understand, like, people are going to do what people do, right? The reasons why a man is cheated are not very different from why a woman would cheat. You know, I've said it before. I don't understand why we think it's cool to get with somebody and expect them to fulfill every need it doesn't fucking make sense.
They're not.
It's impossible. It's an impossible. And even if you're able to meet my needs for maybe, or I meet all your needs, and that's only going to be temporary. We're going to get to a point where our needs are going to change. So to put that expectation on your significant others is impossible, which I think that opens the door to cheating because, all right, well, I like playing video games per se. I don't like playing video games anymore, but I might like playing video games. Rell despises them, but Jazzy is a gamer, right? And we're cool. And so we start playing games online and stuff. And so now we're connecting. She's fulfilling that need. And then Jazzy happens to be kind of, fly. So,
Well, see, it also goes into knowing that, like you said, you're not going to get all your needs met. Right. Just like how, one of the phrases one of my elders said to me was, you are not responsible for that other person's happiness.
Facts.
It's impossible.
Right.
I get it to a point where you want to make sure that they're happy. You want to be the reason why they're happy. But what they said to me was, you're not responsible for that person's happiness. That person is responsible for their happiness. Your responsibility is to work on making sure they're happy with you. So with that being said, you're right. You're not going to get all of your needs met. But then the maturity comes into, are you willing to do without those needs? There are certain
you don't have to do. You don't always have to do without. You can find a friend who has those same interests, or you can fulfill it on your own.
So, example, using the thing as a gamer, there are a lot of women that don't want to game. I love playing my PlayStation. I'm gonna play it every day I can, but there's going to be a point I'm gonna turn it off. But I know my fiance don't like playing games. She might watch, but she's not a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
That'll now mean I need to go find me a woman on the side that's a gamer on top.
No,
I'm just, no. I know. I'm just saying, like, just
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like the needs, there could be a sexual need that you may want to have fulfilled. You might have brought it up. Hey, I want to do this. I want to do that. And she's not into it, or he's not into it. Okay. The question is, can you live without that need?
Mm-hmm.
I want to play helicopter. I want to do the wheel. I want to do all these different things. She's not into that. He not into that. Does now that give you the right to go cheat?
No.
But see, what some people will do is
Go
they'll
out and
use
cheat.
that for that particular
Well, you don't do this
reason.
for me, so I found somebody to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by, are you able to go without that particular need to have to go look outside? There's a maturity way to talk about it. Hey, I want to do this sexually, or I want to have these type of conversations, or I want to do that. If that person's not willing to, again, it goes to,
Well, that's
you
why
know your person, or it's, can you bend, compromise, and not have those certain things? Is that really your sticking point? If that was your sticking point, why are we here?
Mm-hmm.
But that depends. That's why it's important to choose wisely.
Yeah.
You know, and if you choose a person who is pretty rigid and not with the fun or open-minded, then what you're opening yourself up to is being really locked in. You know what I mean? But yeah, we should never expect for one person to fulfill all of our needs.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side of that coin, we should not make somebody feel guilty for coming to them and saying, hey, these are some things that I want to do or try or whatever. I mean, I would never do that, blah, blah. Like, we have to have conversations. We have to be open-minded. But we all fucking cheat. It's not more. Men get caught more because we're fucking dumbasses.
Yeah.
That's what that is. It's not that men, but shit, the married women that I wish I could tell those stories on here, but I'm not gonna ruin no marriages. But yeah, like women be operating
I
on some
believe
shit.
it. They be. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just even with my obtuse, oblivious to everything ass,
You be
picking
still
up on
peeping
shit. I'm like, wow. Yeah. So yeah, I just I don't know. Anyway, Brown Sugar, what you got?
Nothing. We're not done.
You said you had things.
I have too many things. We'll do it next time.
Can we have one of those things?
Yeah, give us one.
Please. Why we got Spider? Why I got backup? Come on, stop fucking around.
Spider might have to come back because we
Spider coming back.
We ain't touched that topic.
What topic was that?
Co-parenting.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, we could. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
This one's for the culture.
Okay.
Hello. I'm a church first lady, upstanding member of my community, and an active sorority member with 2 grown daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine my shock and horror at the Freaknik documentary that's on the horizon. I did many filthy things that I'm not proud of, resulted in an embarrassing disease and unwanted pregnancy. And I've seen a glimpse of my younger self in the leaked Freaknik footage. What should I do? I was blessed to not have the YouTube and social media recording my every move back then when I lived outside of the Lord. But the past is back to haunt me. This doc will ruin me. There's a lawsuit to stop the footage, but I don't want my name attached. Advice.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do they blur the faces in that, or is it just all out?
It's
No, because it's free.
Yeah.
It's free use. Like,
you were there. You were at the event.
Did they sign something?
Yeah, but
like
no, because it's personal footage.
Yeah.
it was like a private party, or like I don't understand.
No, they went out. Hey, if you have footage from Freaknik,
Let me get it.
let me get it.
That's the bad part about being in public. There's no
Yeah.
expectation of privacy. I don't got to
Right.
get your consent. You in public. I can record whatever I want.
Right. If it was a production,
Yeah, that's different.
Or in somebody's house?
no.
No, if I'm
Well,
so,
out in the public, yeah. But if
Yeah.
but go ahead. Sorry.
most of the time when it's like a production, like we're setting up to make this movie, we're setting up to make this show, we're using our cameras, our things, we're paying to do this documentary on this particular spot.
This is home
and
video.
Then you just happen like to walk by. It's like, whoa, you're walking into our set. We weren't expecting you to be here. Yo, I got to get you to sign for this.
Mhm.
How we do at work, when we have work events and stuff like that, we got to sign, to make sure if our face comes up on Bank of America somewhere, boom, we got to do that. So with that being said, if it's stock home footage, it's you were out there, somebody had their camcorder and they was like this recording you from Freaknik, you stuck. You
Now,
can
was
do
this
it.
like an event, or did they just name it this? I'm
You don't know if
figuring it
that
out.
was an event. It was.
So it's an event.
It was
Clearly not
more.
if I'm asking.
Goddamn. So Freaknik is basically it started out as picnic in the park for Black people, and it just grew.
Okay.
Are you familiar at all with the Greek picnic here at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's so something like that.
It's just like
And then
that.
it got freaky.
Yeah, and then it got freaky.
It's spiraled.
It just got crazy.
To the point to where they did end up shutting it down because it spiraled. But that's where this documentary is coming out about, to kind of talk about it, because it did a couple good things. It allowed our culture to have fun, to listen to music, be out there, do what we like to do. But it spiraled.
Now, what year did they do this?
This was the late 90s.
Oh, well, they're not good. I feel like nobody's gonna know it's you unless you know it's
well, that's
you.
that part.
That's
So one, she's telling on herself.
Right.
Yeah. She's telling on herself. But even if they recognize it, you own it.
I'm about to say, own it.
Yeah.
You just own it.
It's
I had a good time. I was young.
But some of those pictures
see,
are kind of wild.
But see, then she needs to use that as a teaching moment.
Mm-hmm.
This can come back to bite you
Mm-hmm.
in your ass. Teaching your daughters that.
Yeah, but only because she's of her generation, right?
Yeah.
This shit doesn't bite people in their ass anymore because we are now
It might, because if their CEO, if their boss or manager sees it and be like, that's so and so,
Listen,
she's representing our company.
But here's what I'm saying: we are 2023.
Mhm.
We have Kim Kardashian was
Kim
in
Kardashian.
it. She was no, but what I'm saying is that sex tapes, nude pictures, and things do not take people down 99% of the time, unless you were in a position like in specific positions, and even that's going away. When is the last time that we heard of anybody having their nude pictures put out, sex acts put out?
Teachers. You got teachers.
So,
I see the direction you're going.
right.
But that's when I go back to what I said in the beginning when we was just here chilling. I'm in a different tax bracket. So for me, let's say I did do a sex tape. Let's say I did do something outlandish. I'm in a whole lower tax bracket. I make a certain amount of money. I do a certain thing. I'm an average dude. So for the average person, if something like that gets out, that's completely detrimental.
Mm-hmm.
Like from a guy that used to work in HR, when we used to hire people, right? You know what we did? Looked you up on Facebook.
Right.
And the moment that I saw your profile picture with you at the bottom of the gun talking about, we look right past you. So if now you're in a particular
How
company,
long ago was that?
Well, that I was doing that?
Yeah.
Probably like 5-6 years ago.
That's
Five-
still the same thing
That
now.
was at one company.
Mhm.
The company I'm at now, we do the same thing.
Mhm.
But see, now we try to give people a little bit more leniency, but at the same token,
Mhm.
depending on how outlandish that is, I don't want you to be a part of my company.
But every day, the line is getting pushed farther and farther and farther because we are all the sex podcasts, FetLife, all these websites. These websites are filled with. These are not hundreds. These are not niche businesses anymore. These are multi-million-dollar corporations with people that are and they survive based on people submitting their content on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is,
The issue, though, is that these people can profit off of that.
Right.
You have to think about the regular people who don't want that out there.
I'm not talking about them profiting off of it. What I'm talking
But
about
you're bringing
is
up like Kim Kardashian. She profited
you
off of
gotta
that.
let
She
me
made her
finish.
brand
You
off of
have to
that.
Let me finish.
Go ahead. What are you going to finish with?
What I'm saying is that one point in time, a sex tape like that would have shut a career down across the board. Doesn't matter your tax bracket. Doesn't matter. You were done. Now, a sex tape is only going to be newsworthy if you are attractive and people actually want to see you in that sex tape. And they're talking about it because they want to see it. Every day we are becoming more and more desensitized to these things. We're not judging people in the same way that we used to. And in terms of financial institutions and stuff, they've always been fucking, you got to dot your I's, cross your T's, blah, blah, blah. But everywhere else in the world, it's very different. Hell, we have a president who said, grab them in the pussy, has all these rape things, has all this horrible stuff out there. That man still ascended to the White House.
But he got money.
But he had enough people. No, and I know what you're saying. But he still had to be voted into office, and his base are evangelical, conservative, pro-life, pilgrim ass people, and they were able to look the other way on that because it's not a big deal, and that is my point. So,
What's his brand, though?
what is his brand?
He says it like it is. He's telling the truth.
Yeah, but the point is,
So if you have a good girl, I don't remember who it was. I don't know if it's Selena Gomez. Her news got leaked and it was like the end of the world. Oh, she's so trashy. Da, 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 da. So it's not for everybody. It depends on what your brand is and
is
what
Selena Gomez still around?
kind of, sort of. I don't know. I don't think it's Selena Gomez, but it is somebody. It can still hurt you though.
It can hurt you, but not in a way where your life is over. And so you have somebody from 1996, like my age, who's looking at her videos and it's like, oh shit, because she's thinking about goddamn how things were in 1996. It's 2023. And we just have a different temperament, and the way we look at sex and the way we look at people and how they conduct themselves online is very different, because there is no shortage. Most people, if you would look hard enough, you will find nudes or them doing something online somewhere, whether it's in their iCloud, whether it's in their FedLife, whether it's in the text messages, it's all out there. So we're just in a different space. So my advice to the girl is like, yo, don't worry about it, and just understand that like own your shit. Yeah, that was me. I had fun. I was young. I was dumb. I was one of hundreds of thousands of people who did the same fucking thing. It's not just her. It wasn't like Freaknik and her, and she's the only person in the video getting wild. She is one of
many.
Right. She's one of many.
But that can still be detrimental.
Yeah. Like, that's what I was saying.
To the average, that's still detrimental. She's not
using it as a teaching moment. Like, you have daughters. Cool. You don't want your daughters to do what you did.
Her daughters have probably already done it because it's 2023.
And that's fair. But then it's the where are you setting them up for? Like, it goes back to, I did something stupid. Hey, don't do the stupid thing that I did. No, they probably already done it.
But at the time when she did that video, when she was there, that wasn't a stupid thing. And it's just something that I said to a buddy of mine. He was talking about his teenage son, and he was like, man, he just keeps getting in trouble, and I keep telling him, son, you gotta do the right thing. Stop doing stupid things. You gotta do the right thing. And I asked him the question. I said, so do you know if he knows what the right thing is? Like, you assume that he knows what the right thing is. Mm-hmm. Most people don't know what the right thing is. In that moment in time, when she was at Freaknik, doing whatever it is she was doing and having a great time, she wasn't thinking like, yo, I'm doing the bad thing. I'm going out of my way to do the wrong thing. No, she was living her life and having a good time.
As she should.
Right.
But now it could be coming back to haunt her, and just be aware.
This podcast could come back and haunt any of us.
True.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then we'd be like, oh, don't ever do a podcast, son. Because you don't know.
Do a podcast. Just be careful what you say.
I don't see it as that. And this is me being a dad. Now, this is me inputting it from a father's perspective.
Okay.
I don't see it as she's like, oh my gosh, that was the dumbest thing I did. It was, man, how do I teach someone else the shame that I'm living with, or the mistake that I think I made? How do I teach you not to do that? That's where I'm saying where she should own it. Don't be afraid of it. But as a dad, I'm going to try to set my son up with everything that I think. Now, again, like you said, how do you know it's a dumb moment?
Right.
Everything that I think as the adult, as the elder, as the person that I'm supposed to bring you up. My job for my child is to teach you what I know to be right from wrong, whether that's religiously, sexually, money, finance, what I know to be right from wrong that has got me from here to there. My job is to teach you that. No more, no less. I can't teach you what I don't know. So if I know that, man, I shouldn't drink and drive. At that moment, I didn't think it was a dumb thing to do at that moment. Got super trash.
That's something that will always have real world consequences.
And to her, this thing she did at Freaknik is always going to have a real world consequence, because what she didn't think was somebody got her on tape. What she didn't think was 30, 40 years later, she was going to have to see it again. She probably got home and was like, man, I probably shouldn't have did that. But you know what? I ain't never going to have to worry about it. I'm not going to see it. Now, knowing that that's coming back to, in a sense, to her, haunt her, she's probably like, I wish I would have made a different decision. So now the reason why she threw my two daughters into the whole conversation is, how do I teach them to not feel the same way I'm feeling?
By not feeling the same way that she's ashamed.
I
know, but she's ashamed. I mean, we've all looked at pictures of ourselves, right? Back in the day with certain fashion things.
I mean, look at Facebook. We've hide half our albums because
but in that moment in time, what we was wearing was cool looking. What we were doing was fly.
What we said as our statuses, how we typed them things, when we said the lyrics to all the music, what did we do?
All those things. And that is my point. In 1996, what she did was cool. What she did was cool. The only difference between her and everybody else that was at Freaknik, and everybody else that was at the Greek picnic, and everybody else that was at any other thing where people got fucking buck wild for a couple of days, is that her little clip was on this video. I just find it very hard to figure out how you can then turn around and try to use this as a teachable moment when we are always moving forward, and we just don't know what we're doing now, how that's going to be perceived 30 or 40 years from now. Whether what we're doing right now in this moment is it's cool, or is it going to be like, look at these idiots, they were in a room having a podcast, and then your kid is like, we're like, well, look, man, I didn't know it was going to be this way, but you should be careful. You see what I'm saying?
But see, that's how you turn it into that teachable moment, because you don't know how, and then when you see the effects of it.
How do you live your life, Spider? That's my point. How do you live your life if you don't know what you're doing now is going to be? There's certain things that we know you do. If you do it, it's bad now and it's going to be worse later on. There are certain things, but there are a lot of things that we do that there's a lot of ways that we think. You watch old TV shows like from the 70s and the things you say, I'm like, God damn, they got away with that. That would never be allowed today. That would never pass. How do you teach your child to be careful in that way, in a way that does not then cause them to just go ahead and not live their life because they're so terrified that no matter what they do or what they say, it might come back and haunt them 30, 40 years down the road?
For me, the best way I would do it is to tell you my experience, tell you what happened to me from doing it, how it either made me feel, the consequences of my actions, and where I'm at to that day. Now, that's me telling you, hey, man, I was speeding down the highway, got myself a ticket. Am I telling him now never speed, never try to go above the speed limit?
But speeding is that's one of those absolute things, right?
But it can't. Yes and no. Yes, it is one of those absolute things. I'm never going to tell my son, don't go to a party. I'm never going to tell him, don't go hang out with your friends. But I will tell you, man, I went to the party, I did X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna tell him the truth, man. When I was in college, I threw all the college parties. It's a fact. We drank underage. It's a fact. I was the DJ. I was the bartender. It's a fact. But then one of my house parties, I've had the cops come. I've had people kick my window out, trying to get out of the window. I've had fights break out from me doing these things. So can you do it? Yeah, but look at where it can get you. Look at the consequences of what happened.
You're doing so well.
Right.
You did all these things, you do so well.
It got to a point where I knew I had to stop doing those things too. It got to a point to where I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that no more. I'm doing all these house parties. Who helped me clean up?
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Did anybody ever warn you about your behaviors?
Oh, absolutely.
And you fucking did it anyway, right?
Because you know why? I didn't want to. So for me, I didn't want to believe what was being told to me. I wanted to be the rebel. I wanted to. Right. I wanted to go against the grain because I was trying to show out. The expression, I was smelling my piss, or I had my ass on my shoulders. That was me at that time frame. So that's where my teachable moment comes in. I knew what I was doing was either going to be bring reproach against my mother, Jehovah, anybody else that knew I knew better. At the time, I didn't care. But because I didn't care, it led me down certain paths, right? So for me with my little man, I already know because I've done it, I've lived it. You're going to have these thoughts, these emotions, these feelings. I want to do this, I want to do that. I want to do my own thing. Great. Do your own thing. Understand these are the things that could happen down the line. If you still decide to do them, hey man, you can't tell me I ain't tell you. Okay. So that's where that comes from. I'm going to tell you, man, if you drink underage, this is what could happen. Man, if you drink and drive, this is what's going to happen. Man, if you throw all these parties, if you have sex before marriage, if you do that.
I get what you're saying with all that, but in this particular situation, other than the STD and the pregnancy, because she was wild, extra wild.
That was extra info. We did not need.
Right, we didn't need that. But we're still. Right.
I think it's to show how crazy.
Yeah, how crazy it was, right?
And why she's embarrassed. Like she did things that she probably normally never would, and if she could go back, she wouldn't do.
Teachable moment. Hey, girls, look. Now I'll say teachable moment, but there's no reason to try to stop like the lawsuit thing to do all that. That's taking it to a different point. Just leave it at I want to teach my daughter something. Like there's nothing you're going to be able to do to get that to stop.
Are there names in this?
It depends on who's attached. It depends on if there's a famous person in it.
You talking about the people in the crowd? No, it's like if you ever watched like the
because I feel like she's making it more than what she needs to be. Like, girl, you in it? All right, just shut up. If somebody is like, yo, I thought I saw you, be like, yeah, it was me. Just
or
whatever.
Like, no, that wasn't me.
Or that too, right. And nobody would ever know unless it's like your people's like, girl, I saw you in that video. All right, cool.
I think what she's also trying to do is take her traumatic experience from that event to not have something come out from it.
Yeah, because she's the first lady of the church. That's her main thing too, and we all know how they are.
Everybody got a past.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. Embrace your past. Know that you did something silly. Know that to your point, you did something silly. I did something stupid.
She had fun.
Own it. I had fun. I did this. That's not what I'm about now.
Yeah.
Let's learn from it.
Well, how about like, why are the people in the church watching the Freaknik thing? Again, it's like the swingers club. If you telling on me, you're telling on yourself. I saw Brandon in the swingers club.
But what was you doing at the swingers club?
Exactly.
Mhm.
The fuck. Why you saw the first lady in the Freaknik documentary? Oh, so you was watching Freaknik? What you need to watch that for?
Is there something wrong with religious people watching documentaries?
No, but
Or watching
evangelical
Content
those.
of what you're exposing yourself to. If you're that religious of a person, you shouldn't be exposing yourself to that content. Is what he's saying with that.
Right. Those people, if you're worried about them, those people judging you on what you did in 1996, 97, 98, and it's 2024 when this comes out, then those are the kind of people that shouldn't be watching that kind of content. Because if you're cool and you understand the times, yo, that was the time. Now, like for real, what Freaknik and whatchamacallit, the Greek picnic, there's a lot of sexual assaults. It's not the women that should be embarrassed and worried about what's happening. It should be about it's the men who should be like, let me go get my lawyer money up. Like, let me see what the statute of limitations are, because there was a lot of sexual assaults and things that happened. And that, did you see the video of the girl? She's a teen. She's like 19, 18 or 19. She was at a music conference. She was at a music festival.
And all the men just started touching her?
No.
Oh.
No. She went into the men's bathroom with her girlfriend because it was it was busy. And before you know it, she's having sex in the stall. And they got it on video, right? And she had herpes and she had just recently had an outbreak. So, but in her explanation, she said, I was drunk. And I was checking on my girlfriend, and next thing you know, he's having sex with me, and there was no time for me to tell him that I had herpes. Like, so the way she's describing it, I'm like, that sounds like she got raped. Like if you're in the bathroom, like, and then all of a sudden you're penetrated, and I mean in the video, she's on video and she's into it at that point in time, but it doesn't sound like at all she was trying to have sex. And I'm like, those are the kinds of things that happen at these music conferences. So ladies, stop worrying about the judgment that you're going to receive. It's the fellas who should be concerned about how the world's going to view them, because they used to take girls' clothes off. They used to do this thing called whirling, where they would surround the girl and molest. Like, it's a lot of horrible shit that took place in the Freaknik. Yup. So tell her what we said. Don't fucking worry about it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. If she lets the world know, bless you, she's telling on herself. She's telling on herself. So
good luck, girl.
You all right, man?
No, you swelling. You all saying.
You got the hoodie on, man. You know, it is warm in here. It is warm in here. And I can't have the fan on because then the microphones pick it up and it's just like this. Ooh.
That's a good episode.
I think so. I'm gonna have a hell of a time editing with everything. God damn.
We'll bring him back so we go over some other topics.
Yeah, because you were supposed to talk about,
and that's for the next episode.
We can talk about it.
No,
that'll work.
Slate now.
Not now.
Not now. Next time. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Make sure you check us out. Check us out on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram at the Culture Misfits Podcast, and you can find me at justlim.j. Rell, where can we find you?
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube, and you can follow me at Rell Traveling.
At DJ Soak. Follow me. Yeah.
No Energy Spider.
No.
Where can we find you, bro?
Do you want to be found? First of all, do you want to be found? That's the question.
You can not find me. You can find me over at Fit for Life Movement, forwards with the number, not spell. You can find me over at Spiders Royalty, hence the gear I'm wearing there. Or if you're into fitness and things of that nature, other than that, you can find me at trfit_spider. That's me.
There you go.
All them things. All right. Well, until the next time, this is Culture Misfits Podcast, and we are out. Bye.
Bye.